So before calling the speakers onto the stage, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our NGO partner, Sankyandra Foundation. They are doing a meaningful work in education, empowerment, and also community upliftment. That's really needed, right? So we have a small booth over here. You all can just go there and know about it, what they do, and how things work. So now, and also take initiatives on how to connect with them, how to engage with them. So our event begins here. Our event begins with the visionary behind AI Anytime and Quadrix AI, Sonu Kumar, creator of AI Anytime, YouTube community, and an expert in context engineering and AI agents. So let's welcome Sonu Kumar. Woo! A big round of applause. Keep the energy high.
You can ask them to wait.
Right there. Hi everyone. Welcome. First of all, thank you so much for coming. Saturday morning, difficult for me as well. So I can understand difficult for most of you. I'm a late riser. I wake up around 9 every day. Today I have to wake up at 6. But I make sure that it's going to be exciting. You'll have a lot of takeaways. You will learn. Uh, just waiting for the slides to turn up. How many of you are spending time with AI nowadays? I mean, less hands, more hands now. I'll scare you. If you're not doing AI, you will not get jobs. Now, how many of you are spending time with AI? All of us. Okay, almost all. Right. That's also good. We can wait a couple of more minutes. We will have two more people. You're not able to connect. Moderators, and etc. for joining us on this day, AI Day. It's our inaugural event, AI Day, but I promise you will see a lot of days like this in next couple of years. It's also a teaser as an event before our first conference that we're gonna do in quarter 1 next year. It's in, I think it's in work in progress right now. We are going to do a one-day event in Hyderabad as a tech summit or tech conference. You have to approve as well. So please wait for that. This entire half-day event is live stream on YouTube. So if you want to go through all the sessions later, you can also go through it. So today, of course, the first session that I'm going to take is about context engineering. We'll keep it very simple. Even if you don't know anything, you will get it. So don't worry about it. Uh, there's a couple of other sessions that, for the fellow, and speakers and colleagues will take it. How many of you have been working, with LLMs or AI agents or ChatGPT, spending time? ChatGPT, everybody, as you. Okay. So context engineering is a new technical jargon, right? A couple of more people, I'll let them settle in. If you look at this subheader as well, it says the new operating system for AI agents. Right? It's very important if whoever is working or they want to work in the field of nowadays generative AI, or we have moved from generative AI to agentic AI nowadays. Okay, context engineering is everything. Okay, it's everything is context engineering. That's what we're gonna see. It's the new OS for AI agents. Uh, Now we can go next. Little bit about myself. Have been in the industry for almost a decade now. If I look at my internship days as well, almost 10 years and have done a little bit of work, in startups, in corporates, have worked with some Fortune 500 companies, have built startups, have failed a couple of times. Earlier I used to call myself as a failed entrepreneur. Okay. Now I can say that little bit of success that we have seen. Okay. So I've been, my previous startup is a very notable startup. If you open Google and search, you will find out everywhere on internet. It's called Sonu Health. We built a baby from ground up and scaled it to 120 crores. If I say an Indian number as valuation, it's a big startup that we built. And we realized that something we have to do in India also, because I'm a nationalist. So I thought we'll do something here. We started Quadrix AI with one of my co-founders sitting over there 8 months back, and we have been growing very similar how Draper House is growing. So that gentleman said that Draper House has grown, and they were not even expecting this growth. And we have also been seeing an exponential growth at Quadrix AI, that's the new venture that we have been working on. And apart from all of these commercial activities and making money, I also do a little bit of content creation and NGO stuff and philanthropic work that we see. I'm also a child right activist, very hidden shadow. I have an NGO that helps children who have been abused in their childhood. Okay, and I also have an NGO now called Sanathana Foundation. It's on the back of this guy wearing this black t-shirt if you see. Okay. In this NGO we have a YouTube channel named AI Anytime. You would have seen that channel maybe somewhere. It's really growing, 45,000 odd subscribers, very project-based channel learning. And we also have started a couple of initiatives, for all this digital divide that we see. Because if you go to rural areas, people are not aware of like this term AI, or they don't know anything about AI. So this community that we are building for all these rural areas in different states, mainly of course focusing on Andhra Pradesh and Telangana and Karnataka, we call it AI Gram Sabha. It's an initiative that we have taken. Please have a look at that when you get time. In this entire NGO thingy, we don't make any money. It's completely non-commercial activity. We rely on donations, we rely on crowdsourced fund, and so on and so forth. So please have a look at that. Maybe a little bit of researcher as well. I do a lot of research. My research papers have been published in some of the world's best journals. Nature, for example, you would have heard. Nature is one of the world's best journals. And so on. There's no better journal in world than Nature. So we have paper published in Nature. We have patent. So there's a little bit of AI research work. So that's a brief about myself. We go next. Why are we here? See, we are not here for context engineering, of course. Most of us are here for having an experience. Weekends, people are free. They want to become part of an event. That's the reality. That's the truth. And for people who are like coming out of colleges, universities, they want to become part of a lot of events because you can learn, you can have an experience. Why are we here is very important to also understand that AI is taking a lot of jobs, and there is no doubt about it. It's a reality. It will take a hell lot of jobs, numerous jobs that it will going to take in next few years. If you look at some of the world's best AI leaders, like NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, he said that the person who uses AI will take your job. So the entire upskilling or literacy thing comes up. Everybody who is sitting, irrespective of their age, they have to do AI. If you don't do AI, you are gone. Trust me, I'm telling you. Okay. Because if these guys are saying the same thing, you have to respect them. Because they can see, they can foresee future, we can't see. So if these guys are saying, then take it seriously. It's not always about, creating the hype. So most of the time it's reality. And the other numbers, some of the working professionals here will agree, there have been a lot of laid off. Companies are firing, they are laying off people because of this AI boom. And if you look at this number, I think 6 months back, this number was registered. You can look at this layoff number. Like big companies like Microsoft, Amazon, they have fired people like anything. So it's not a serious time we do it. Okay. If China and US can do it, we can also do it. I mean, it's all about your curiosity and your intent. So that's why we are here because we want to learn AI, right? We want to master this technology. तो यहाँ क्यों आया बता? तेरे से पूछ रहा हूँ सर. इस पे क्या है? Looking good actually. Tell me why are you here? Give mic. We only have one mic.
No, no, we have. I'll, yeah.
Why are you here today? To say subscribe to AI anytime. Myself. Very nice. Okay. So it has to be a purpose. A purpose नहीं है तो फिर time waste है. So please have that in your mind. Okay, we'll go next. So see, we'll talk about this prompt engineering thing before. You know, if you use ChatGPT also or you use any tool, you ask a question or you want that AI system to perform some kind of task. Like let's say you go to ChatGPT and say, today I have an event, give me a good Instagram post to post. It will give you an Instagram caption to post or it will give you a LinkedIn post to post, content to post. So anything that you feed into an AI tool or a system, it is some kind of a prompt. That's what it is, right? And when we talk about engineering, it's everything around the prompt that you do. You bring your own styling, your own tonality, your own, patterns, features, output, whatever you want. What kind of output format you want, what kind of role or style you want to give it to a system. So that's basically called engineering behind the prompt. So engineering is very self-explanatory if you see, from design to engineering. If you look at anything in life, any system, let's say people are saying that I'm doing engineering behind a car engine. So what do you mean by that? Like, I mean by that we are working on the engineering aspect of that engine. How do we make it better so it will give you good mileage and so on and so forth. So when we talk about engineering also of prompt, it means everything around that prompt you do, it's called prompt engineering. Few years back, when ChatGPT was on rise, prompt engineering was the most demanding skill. People back in Silicon Valley, they were paid in six figures just for prompt engineering. So if you look at this number by Bloomberg or a different organization they have reported, the numbers, look at the salaries these guys have been paid. It's all in six figures mostly. India में बहुत कम लोगों को मिलता होगा, मेरे को भी नहीं मिला. So this is prompt engineering. Okay. So prompt engineering, when ChatGPT was on rise, everybody was doing it. But now we have moved from LLMs, large language models, to something called agents. An agent is very similar. First of all, how many of you know about agents? Very happy to see, Selvan, that you are aware of agents. How many of you have seen that? Give mic, Chandu or somebody give mic to someone. Let's have a little bit of interaction. Give to this guy who is wearing cap. Tell us.
I use the agent the common browser. I use for multiple tasks.
Okay. He said task, somebody else. ये सो रहा है, इसको जगाओ. Give it to him. मैं तेरे को जगाऊंगा, समझ लीजिए. इसको दो.
So agent is which can act and make decision.
Very nice. So he said act, make decision, he said task. So now we have moved from this prompt to something called context. That's what people have looked. That's why it is important. Prompt was very simple. You ask a question, it used to give you an answer. That's what prompt used to do. It was really well for one of query or simple question answering or text generation. You are asking one question, you are getting an answer. But prompt is not enough to perform certain tasks. Okay, like let's say if you are doing a format browser, you are reading something as a browser. When you perform a lot of tasks, like let's say book my 5 days travel plan or it release for Thailand, let's say for example. Then an LLM cannot do it. You need an agent to do it because agent performs certain tasks. It's very similar to, go to next slide, Manipreetam. It's very similar to how travel agent or an LIC agent perform tasks. Have you guys seen LIC agent? Your parents will probably know better. Nowadays LIC guys are not coming. Earlier they used to come to home. LIC level policy. So they basically sell something and they do some task. So agent का भी वैसा ही है. Agent also performs some task, whatever task you give it. Whatever instructions you give to system, it will perform some task. Just to understand a little bit on technical terms, an agent will have couple of things mandatory. And the agent will require a model that can be any LLM, can be a model that will have. and it should have different tools at its disposal. So let's say, for example, if you want to build an agent that will book a ticket to you or for you to Goa, let's say, for example, then you have to connect with booking.com or GoIBO or Make My Trip or Indigo or anything. That you connect through tools. And then you have a model that can understand your language, it can interpret your language. So that's called a model. So an agent requires two things mandatory. One is tool and the other is a model. And memory is good to have because the agent will take a little bit of time and it has to go through and process a lot of information. Then it has to have a memory so it can understand and go through your previous contextual responses. So this is what an agent requires. These three things if you have, you can build an agent system. As simple as that. Okay. Now, when you talk about context, as I said, everything is a context. So like let's say there are two agents. One is the travel planner and the other is flight booking agent. So travel planner will share information to the next agent, which is flight booking agent. And about, okay, this guy had 10,000 budget, has to have a small OYO for 2 nights. Okay, and something like that. All this information will pass to the next agent. So all this information that has been passed, they are called, conversation, interactions, you will have your own prompts. So everything that you fit to an agent system, it's context. So context is very self-explanatory. Like a lot of people would have asked you, you are going to this AI day, give me some context about the event. So what will you do? You will say, okay, there are 5 speakers coming up. This is a 4 hours thing. Okay, you'll have refreshments. We'll have all the information that you compile and share that with your friend is a context. Similar things with agent. You have different tools, a knowledge repository, information, system prompts, memories. Combine everything, become a context. So just understand, if you are having so much of data available to a machine or an agent, it will be very difficult for machine to process and understand because you get confused. So that's the problem behind context, and that's why we need context engineering. We have to engineer the context in a way that agent can use that information in a better way. That's the whole agenda of it. Next, Manipulator. Thank you. Next, this guy, okay, this gentleman is recording also. I hope Andres Kapati sees this. This gentleman, Andres Kapati, is one of our idols. Anybody, see, it's very important to have an idol in life, whatever you are doing. Otherwise, ordinary रह जाएंगे लोग. To become an ordinary person. To become an extraordinary, you have to follow someone. Our idol, all these AI guys that we have in our community, we follow this guy. Andres Kapati is an ex-OpenAI, ex-Tesla. He created OpenAI with Sam Altman. Okay. Whatever he says on social media, it becomes mainstream. He coined the word vibe coding. How many of you have heard this word vibe coding? Everybody has heard it. So Andres Kapati, he went on Twitter or nowadays X, and he talked about vibe coding, and it became mainstream. So similarly, he also said that +1 for context engineering over prompt engineering. The moment he said, people started talking about context engineering. तो ऐसा होना चाहिए लाइफ में. ऐसा कुछ बोल दो तो सब लोग मानने लगे. So this is what he said. Please read about Kapati. He is one of open source pioneers. Go next. Now, as the word that we have said, that context engineering is a new operating system with model as CPU and context window as RAM. Because the context window is what? All your information. Context is nothing but the entire data that you give it to an agent. As I said, write prompt and instructions and memory data, knowledge repository, जो भी data है, all this data combined together, they are called as context. So just look at the metaphor with your CPUs or computer system that you use. You have CPU, you have RAM. So to understand this simply, your processor is nothing but a large language model in terms of agentic AI. Okay, because processor is the core. बोलते हैं ना मदरबोर्ड में प्रोसेसर खराब हो गया, सिस्टम नहीं चल रहा है. You go to अमीरपेट और सिकंदराबाद to manufacture it. We also went to the same thing. So processor is language model. Working memory is context window because I said memory is important. If you look at in simple ways, if anybody asks you this question, that why AI is still not taking over humans, the answer is very simple: memory. So AI is very bad with memory. Have you ever witnessed or interacted, or came across this situation where you interact with ChatGPT? It forgets sometimes. Again, you have to remind it. कि भाई तू भूल गया, मैंने 2 दिन पहले ये बोला था. Please look at it. So when you emphasize please and all, then it's fine. Say sorry, I forgot, now I remember it. So memory is terrible when it comes to AI. So whoever builds this better memory system, they will win this AI race. Fundamentally यही है. So memory पे we have to focus. So memory is now context window, and then we have hard drive, which is your databases, scheduler, and also just understand this. This slide is available for all of you to download and consume at your disposal. So have a look at that. So now the question is, why are we doing it and how can we do it better? This entire agent build and the context engineering part. See, very simple. Let's say I give 100 books to you to read. And then I'll start asking questions. You will start giving me wrong answer, you start getting confused because you have so much of data to consume. 100 of files and 100 of research papers. But if I give you one, if you compare 1 versus 100, which will be easier? 1. Similar philosophy here. So people say, okay, I have a LLM, and let's say I have GPT-5 or I have recently launched model Gemini 3. Are you guys aware of Gemini 3? It's created a havoc in industry. People said Google already won the AI race. So Gemini 3 or all these models that you see, Gemini 2, Gemini 3, Gemini 2.5, they have context in millions. Context window. What does that mean? In one question or in one prompt, I can give 1 million words. And model can answer from that 1 million words that I am giving into that chat GPT input box you have, a question where you ask. If you give it to Gemini 1 million information, it can answer it from it. But do you think it's feasible? It makes sense to give 1 million word into a single prompt to an LLM. It will start doing something called hallucination. Have you heard of this word hallucination? It's not always about more data to AI when you are asking questions. You have to give meaningful data to AI so it can reason well because somebody said reasoning. That one word when Mahima was asking. Someone said reasoning as an AI word. You said. So understand that too much of context is not good. Too much of information to AI is not good. You have to give high quality data, meaningful data to AI system. That's what we call it because there is a phenomenon called lost in the middle. Lost in the middle is very simple. I explain it. Let's say you have 10 paragraphs in they will be giving you a prompt, 10 paragraphs. Model LLMs, they only look at first few paragraphs and last few paragraphs. They don't look at your middle paragraphs. That's called lost in the middle phenomenon. Okay. It's a research done by Stanford University. This is the only paper I recommend. I was telling my guys here, who work with me, that this is the research paper that you have to study. Lost in the middle. Check it out. This is the paper available by Stanford. It's pretty intuitive, right? Just understand. You all come from probably BTech background, most of us. In our exams, when we had 5 marks questions, where you have to write let's say 1 page or 2 page, we used to write songs in middle. So when we used to study, that Asiki 2 movie was released. Okay. So that song was very famous by Arijit or Ankit Tiwari and all, To Me Ho and all. We used to write that song in the middle of the answer because we knew that the professor will not read 2 pages, they only read first few lines and last few lines. Similar metaphor here to understand that AI also looks at first few paragraphs and last few paragraphs. That's called lost in the middle. So that's why too much context is not important. Meaningful context, high quality data, meaningful information is important. Keep this in mind. This is very important to understand. So this is what it is. This is what I wanted to highlight in this slide. Context window limitations. So keep that in mind. It's very important for interviews also. This is a very common question asked in interview nowadays. This is very helpful. I think Selvan can explain this better. Maybe what is this? Who will explain this? थोड़ा सा storyboarding करेंगे. बताओ. Who is a good narrator here? Just look at email there. How many of your MBA grads? They all teach this. Image देख के बताना है story. That's what they teach. So tell us what is this? कौन बताएगा? Raise hand. Gift. बताए तो gift देते हैं हमको. Nobody wants to say. See, ये एक और problem है. पता नहीं डरते क्यों हैं? Indians इतने डरते क्यों हैं यार बात करने में? I don't get it. Sam Altman said this. I was telling to Mahima the other day that communication is a big bottleneck in India. Something that can get conveyed in 30 seconds, Indians take 3 minutes to say the same thing. बताओ भाई क्या है एलिवेटर पिच धंधा कैसे बनेगा ड्रेपर हाउस में वी आर सिटिंग एलिवेटर पिच क्या है फोटो का गिव दिस माइक टू दिस लेडी
After seeing this photo, what I would say that is a proverb where you say that a fish is spoiling the whole pond. So, seeing this, we can say that apple is spoiling the whole.
Very nice. Thank you so much. I think you took the initiative. Very good. See, exactly what the lady said. Okay. Let's say if I have a database, or database is very simple concept where you will store data. Okay. So see this as a notepad file or a JSON file or database or any system, let's say. If we insert or store one wrong information, it will spoil all the right information. That's called context pollution. What is called? Context pollution. You are polluting the entire context. It's a simple concept. So let's say if LLM is hallucinating and you are storing those output into your database, it will start polluting the other context which is really good. समझ रहे हो? तो इन्फ्लुएंस बोलते हैं ना कि संगति का असर पड़ गया हिंदी में भी कॉमेंट तेलुगु में आई डोंट नो बट गो नेक्स्ट
పానకంలో పుడకమా పానకంలో
something whatever you said same to you so
పానకంలో పుడక
this is the context pollution thing okay in context pollution see we have this information misleading information and whatever I said so keep this in mind this is important I already have explained this I don't want to go into all these big jargons so context pollution को overcome करना है that is the ultimate thing in context engineering so this is what we talk about hallucinated fact you put you are putting some errors conflicts and basically pollute your entire agent system so that's what it is go to next manipulation and this is how we do it okay we have to be very careful on how do we remove all these pollutions from your entire database how do we make sure that our context is good and healthy okay in the entire agent system it's a this 4-step or 5-step process that we have it starts from if you look at this write select compress and split okay, if you read you will understand it says export data to storage nothing but the database that I was saying okay context window ये सब हो गया simple funda compress समझो so what will you do you'll have a hallucination checker that will check your hallucination level into your database and let's say you put some threshold value if my hallucination rate is greater than 70% I will throw that hallucination out of the database that is called this one compress करके will throw the wrong or polluted context and it's very simple it's called hallucinations fact check or hallucinations let's say I'll give you an example okay if you are building all these big media houses that you see BBC and all this fake news that you see how do you validate if the news that you are reading is correct or not कैसे validate करोगे let's say if you are reading some news how do you validate if that's true or not there are fact checking algorithms on internet जैसे fact checking है spoofing है fact check करते हैं all these media houses so this fact checking is you can put it over here if you are building a research analyst or a news analyst agent okay so this is the fundamental concept that we do just retrieve the wrong context and just throw it out of the database so ये है go to next yeah I think you can go next not required go next so this is a summary okay that I want to highlight I don't want to make this a technical talk okay, because looking at the audience also but just to highlight that context is everything focus on context okay, not prompt now AI is writing prompt if you go to ChatGPT and say write a prompt template for me it will write it for you we don't need you to write prompt okay so context is everything your entire focus should be on context you can say how do we improve the context optimization strategies there let's say because the models that you use Gemini 3 or GPT-5 they are costly models you have to pay as you go like the token that you use you have to pay for token right what is the cost of Gemini 3 anybody is aware how much it costing Nano Banana 3 one image that you generate how much it costs
that's right
$2 or something one image so it's expensive so the more token you have, it will cost you more. So the same analogy comes up. Let's say if I give you 100 research papers, and if I give you one research paper which is more meaningful, which one you will feed it to system? One research paper, because then you have less token cost. So token cost, to reduce token cost, you have to look at all the optimization strategies. कैसे retrieval करेंगे? How do we split it? How do we isolate context from all the databases that you have? So that is something that you have to see. Pollution control is everything. Okay, the context pollution. How do we offload the pollution or the polluted context from the database? That is something to look for. And as I said, right, the future is context aware. Everything is context engineering. If you want to build a better agent system, you have to spend more time on engineering behind the context. That's what it is. Next, I think we are done. This is, if you want to connect, scan QR code and all available. Okay, just find it out. I'll be here for next couple of hours if you want to interact. Also, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take any questions. Any questions, anybody? Yes, you have a question. Have we met before?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can recall it, yes.
What are some of the optimization strategies? If you can just name a few.
Go back slides. Good. See, these are few things. How do we do better design? These are all the design principles. Okay, how do we design better context systems? So if you look at relevance first, we have to find out the most relevant data from the entire data that we have, the relevant information that we can give it to our agent. So the first is that we have to perform things like semantic search to find out what might be the most relevant data for the agent. So that's the first thing that we have to do. The next thing is structure everything. See, nowadays there's a lot of evolution happening into the format of input data and output data. So you would have heard of something called markdown. Markdown MD. Let's say if you copy something from ChatGPT output and paste it in Notepad, it pastes into a markdown format, like double hash, asterisk and all. So it's a markdown format. So people say that markdown is the best format for LLM. That I also agree. Nowadays they're coming up with different data structures. Like there's something called tune. They say that don't use JSON, don't use MDs, and don't use YAML. Use something called tune, which is an acronym for token-oriented object notation. So basically what happens, it just combines JSON and CSV and basically reduce your size of data. So if you look at JSON, right, they're all key value pairs. Just the header and a comma separated value. So if you bring those kind of strategy, your context size will become less. So that's called structure everything, clear sections with headers and whatnot. That's what I'm talking about too. So tool is really booming. Have a look at that. I'll skip that. That will. I mean the same thing. If you look at this prioritized investment, I was talking about lost in the middle thingy. It says avoid burning important data in the middle. कुछ भी middle में है तो AI नहीं पढ़ेगा. Simple funda समझो. LLM will not read anything which is the middle of it. That's why we work with algorithms like re-ranking algorithms. When we build RAG, retrieval augmented generation, there is something called re-rank, where we rank the retrieved output of context. उसको फिर हम लोग re-rank करते हैं. For model to decide which one is more meaningful. So, prioritize placement, time aware. So let's say, if I say, what is the match result between India and Pakistan? So कौन सा इंडिया पाकिस्तान सालों से खेलते आ रहा है? They've been playing for years and years. So time aware is very important. Demographic, geography, जो भी बोलो, time aware, last 48 hours of result matters. So when you are building something which goes on internet and fetches data, then it has to be time aware. You have to look at the latest information. You cannot look at कि मोदी साहब 4 साल पहले जापान गए थे और आज गए हैं तो सही नहीं होगा. It will be different thing. So time aware is very important. Validate before adding. We have to bring a lot of validations into validation algorithms like fact checking, for example. Fact checking is for what? News के लिए. Let's say if I'm building a system for hiring, okay, at an organization, there was a case study from Amazon that Amazon built a tool a few years back when there was no Gen AI. It was talking about machine learning days. The system was biased towards male. They were giving more opportunity to male, not female. So gender biases है. So how do we remove gender biases? Demographic diversity कैसे ले आए? I'll give an example. When somebody put a prompt in Mid-Journey, you know Mid-Journey image generation model था, when Nano Banana was not there. In Mid-Journey, somebody said, Generate an image of a thief in the US. It created a black guy. So, the black guy will kill me. Sorry, guys. It's not my point. Mid generation. Because the data that they used to train, it was biased. So, validate. You have to bring a lot of algorithms for hallucinations, fact checking, retrievals, and जो भी काम कर रहे हैं. Demographic diversity. Let's say, use cases like healthcare is very sensitive. In healthcare, patient data when you work, you have to be very careful. So, those are there. And monitor token users. Those are all ops. They are part of ops. You have to have a governance and ops layers, whatever you do. When you find out, monitor the token. If your agent is start drifting, this couple of examples my guys knows here that Air Canada and DPD chatbot. There's a logistic company in the UK called DPD. They built a chatbot and the chatbot went, opposing to what they built. So it started criticizing and abusing the company itself, DPD company, because they had no guardrails into the system. So monitor token users, look at ops. There are all these strategies that you can bring into place if you are building an agentic system to improve your entire workflow. Does that answer your question? Any more questions? Acha, it's my go, guys.
Yeah, hi. So I was thinking about the context pollution. So because in a typical application when it related, right? So we ingest a lot of data into it, and we cannot really tell in the first place that the context has been polluted. So what kind of approach we can use to?
That's a very good question. Context never gets polluted on the first time. It's an over a period of time. It's a periodic thing. See, पहले interaction में तो कोई pollution नहीं होगा. First interaction when you're having there's no pollution. The pollution will happen after a certain interactions, after a few interactions. Let's say there are some idiots who wants to manipulate the system. They will start putting, wrong or tricky questions or retrievals, and then if that feeds into your system, then it becomes a problem. So even if you are building a RAG, you have to all that validators. If you look at LangGraph, if you work with LangGraph is really good built default on inbuilt algorithms like grading algorithm that grades all the retrieved. You retrieve, number of documents. That's called page documents or number of input k value, right, in RAG. So in LangGraph, they have grading algorithms that automatically grades your output. And if it finds out anything which is not relevant, it will throw out of the context. So this pollution happens over a period of time, not in first few interactions. Just like how you interact with your friend. तुम्हारा दोस्त पहले इंटरेक्शन में तुम्हें नहीं बिगाड़ेगा. It will take you at least couple of months to bring you in his own cell. Okay. और कल्ट में आ जाओगे तुम. दो that आना करोगे. और मतलब उसको दो भाई इसका भी कुछ. What was your question?
So how you will evaluate agent on production? So
Very nice question. See, I'll just quickly answer it. This is beyond the this is not the scope, but just to answer it. There are different, first of all, there are different libraries and tools. So algorithms, I'll not talk about algorithms, this will become big, but there are tools available. And let's say you use LangSmith. So LangSmith is a library that works with all the LangChain, LangGraph ecosystem. So when you use LangSmith, it already has different algorithms for validation. Like if your agent is start drifting, if your agent is hallucinating, how much money it's costing for you. This all can be monitored and tracked and evaluated using all these tools. For example, LangSmith is there. Then you have Origi AI, Phoenix, you have Agent Ops, you have Galileo AI. You have hundred of tools to do that. So I recommend you have a look at this. The best is LangSmith because it's open source. So you don't have to pay money to do that.
hi, are you from Hyderabad?
I'm from Hyderabad.
So 2024, we had an incident in Hyderabad where Telangana government has started using some of the AI or various algorithmic models for ration distribution, subsidy, and public benefit utilities. So during that period of time, there were many beneficiaries, okay, could not get the benefit of that subsidized ration. Okay, because the algorithm wasn't showing exactly that they were beneficiaries. I mean, there were multiple models that were involved. Who should be held responsible for such an activity?
Fantastic question, right? I mean, okay. First of all, so if you look at, if you just wear my developer hat, the problem might be in the data, of course. Data, the samples going, the samples of data. Okay. You want to add it?
Sir, I had a one word answer.
You want a one word answer?
One word answer because see, I depend on my monthly ration subsidized food because I come from a BPL line.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not being fed this month. My next month ration is coming today. And I'm not getting an opportunity, okay, to feed my family. So this is the kind of a situation that we are going through. What I am exactly trying to say is the line between, okay, what is the practical use of AI, the digital divide or the AI divide today between the AI, the technology area that the Cyberabad and the remaining part of Telangana or mostly India is epistemological, which I say there is no connection and people out of curiosity, out of personal interest are implementing such things which we are still not ready. And see, AI is a growing model and we are bringing so many changes with AI. We are developing stage. Introducing that into judicial. Okay. Introducing that into public welfare systems. Introducing that into healthcare. Okay. There are so many privacy issues that will come into the picture. See, as a human or basically any species, living organism, their first need is to eat, to survive, right? Which is to eat. And my food is being ripped off by the government depending on a AI or various algorithmic systems. So, who should be held responsible here? Should the government be held responsible? Should the individual officer who is denying? So, I'm calling AI is really good, but are we providing that to the society, okay, in the right manner? We have skipped the generation of the proper use of sanitized way of using or hygiene way of using cell phones, to be very frank, to use the internet. And we have fast forwarded to AI suddenly, and there are so many kids here. I see they think they get a lot of answers, but are they actually validating the answer is right or wrong? And when it comes to individual people, okay, lives matters, and if it is a judicial decision, okay, we are planning to implement that in judiciary. The issue is that are you going home now? After this meeting, are you going home? Or are you going to jail? Now the AI is taking a decision. Like your freedom is being so which is a fundamental right. So your freedom is being curbed because as a magistrate I am looking into a AI, not using my mind, sense of mind or my previous judicial experience into that. And there was also racial profiling which happened in Hyderabad, if you know. Police were using facial recognition software and it was clearly leading towards specific areas of Hyderabad, specific persons, okay, of religion, caste, creed, color, and so on and so forth, generating this. So it means that after meeting the police on the road, okay, on a regular checkup, either I go home or I'll go to jail. Because the AI is still deciding what my future is. Okay, my immediate future is being decided by an AI agent. So are we still okay? I mean, I call this an hallucination. This is a practical hallucination. What? Okay, that's happening. So I'm just asking if there is any answer, or are we still in a developing mode of responsible AI also? Yeah.
No, that's first of all, there's two big questions in that. Comprehensive. One word answer.
Yes. What answer?
Whoever has built the system is accountable. If it's government who has launched the system, government is accountable for it. There are compliances, there are regulations one has to follow. As a human being, you can go and challenge that whatever they have built it. There's the entire community and set of advocates who look into it. If that's your concern. Now coming back to it, when this technology that evolves, there are collateral damages, but I will not say that we have to become part of those collateral damages. If you look at country like UAE, for example, they use facial technologies superbly well, right? But you cannot, we cannot generalize saying that, okay, facial technology is bad for, just because they're using AI. It might be bad for Hyderabad or India, let's say, for example, because we are not ready, as you rightly said. Because we don't have an infrastructure, we don't have a regulatory body that look at all those things that we are building. I'm not somebody who has a lot of information about this project that you mentioned about this subsidy and ration thingy or whatever it is. Okay, but I think we need this technology for sure, responsibly, ethically, and that's why in European Union we have a UAI Act. Just to answer this, just give me a minute to complete. In US we have HIPAA, we have CCPA, we have White House has come up with the regulation. India don't have yet. So now we have to ask Prime Minister or anybody who has what are we doing on our regulatory thing? Where is our act of AI? We don't have it. We depend on act which is outside India. We are again relying on GDPR. Why the hell should we rely on GDPR? We are not European. So having said that, the government will be accountable if they have built the system. But if you think that there are biases in the system, someone didn't get the subsidy due to those biases, you have all the rights to go and challenge them. They will listen to you. And that's what I will say. But we need this technology. I think there are always pros and cons when the technology is there. We believe in responsible AI, right? We are open source people, right? We empower responsible AI. So when we build system, we are 100% sure about our system. That our system should not be biased. I don't know government work with what company. You have to ask them actually. That doesn't answer your question. I think it's brief. We can have a discussion on that, but that will take time. Yeah. Any more questions? Wrap up. The other speakers they are waiting. They're not here for samosa then. Any other questions? No questions. I think thank you so much for your attention. I hope you got a little bit of it. Any question? Feel free to ask. Hand it over to me.
Thank you. Wasn't that the perfect start of the day? And quick check, were you all listening, engaged in the session? Yes? Wonderful, wonderful. So, now, up next we have Sanathana Selvan, founder and chief belonging officer of Unity Circle Solutions Private Limited, building community-driven initiatives and fostering collaboration in AI. I'd like to invite sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Kumar.
Brief.
First of all, I think we should give a big round of applause to Sonu Kumar.
Great, great.
The reason is that when I listen to a lot of AI concepts at a very high level, economy and humanness, in different aspects I see around AI. But I see Sonu is somebody to be spotlighted in Hyderabad, in India. So if you are a startup, partner with him. If you are a student, if you are a fresher, join his company. Otherwise, you will miss the opportunity. He's somebody very special. He's somebody to be spotlighted. So let's give a big round of applause again. Because because somebody who's seeing at the ground level and also at a bigger picture, those people have to be watched on, and he's one of them. So India should be proud, and Hyderabad should be proud. And Cotrix, I'm very glad that I'm associated with Cotrix. Super. So, right. So first of all, I'm super happy to meet all of you. Very good morning, and he has set a stage. He has set up a benchmark of a very powerful speech. Little different, completely a different aspect. AI through human lens, where empathy meets intelligence. While the AI revolution is happening, we are enjoying, we are embracing it. There's so much good things happening, disruptions happening, and we are trying to understand what it is. We are trying to manage what it is. We are trying to embrace and then go forward with it. There are we need to understand this completely new concept about AI through human lens. If you have to go through this topic, right? We need to understand what is humanness, what is who are humans, and we need to remember ourselves, remind ourselves where we are coming from. Humans have actually had huge history, right? A long history. Millions of years back, we were monkeys, and then now we are in this state where mature, scientifically advanced, and we are a very good social being. In this total duration, in this entire duration, there have been so many inventions, starting from fire, fire, electricity, steam engine, steam engine, electricity, well, radio, television, personal computer, internet, mobile, cloud, and now AI. In this variety of the spectrum of inventions, I would like to go to three things. So I'll tell you something. So I don't believe in the slide, which will slow down my pace. So I will make sure that you are all connected and then you are listening. And always there will be a three thing. So you'll be able to easily relate. And it's not a technology heavy and it's very easy to understand, but it's a very powerful concept. We all need to see from that lens. So coming back to this, in the spectrum of inventions, there have been three factors. One is the human reaction. Second is the volume of impact. The third is the consumption time frame which you have taken. I'll tell you again. So the first human reaction, it has been always the same. Any invention, we have always been showing the fright. The fear factor is the first thing which actually comes. Starting from the natural thing, rain, thunderstorm, anything, we always fear. Fire also would appear. And next, in terms of the electricity as well, the camp, the candle maker, the person who actually went around and light the streets, they were afraid about that job, right? And then secondly, about the computer as well, typewriters were afraid about it. So there's always a fear factor as a human reaction. That is the first one. Second is the volume of impact had been different in every invention. But though we had many varieties of impacts, AI's impact is going to be totally different, totally drastic, totally harsh also. Third factor, the consumption factor. If you see in every aspect, in every invention, the consumption, for example, in terms of electricity, it took 40 to 50 years to completely consume. In the sense, everybody to adopt to the electricity. There were steam engines which were working, factories were continuously working with the steam engines and electricity they did not adopt for 40 to 50 years. It took 40 to 50 years for the world to adopt. Internet took 5 to 15 years to adopt. I mean, for us to adopt. In terms of AI, we are almost, we are gambling, we are trying to gather ourselves, the disruptions are happening, we are trying to adopt, we are trying to embrace, and we are trying to move forward. It's going to be 2 years, 3 years, we are at a rush, so in order to embrace. So having said these impacts, these kind of three factors, human reactions, the volume of impact, the social impact, I also wanted to say there are some good things, right? So good things which are going to come or already it's happening. For example, just again the three things. Doctor is able to treat somebody in a remote by seeing the digital images or through AI. I mean, I'm not saying about the inventions in the AI, some kind of app which are innovative in the health app. So something is getting resolved in terms of health in a remote village. Second, as a farmer, if he or she is able to do a prediction about certain things in agriculture using the data using AI. The third, in terms of teacher, right? If something impacts, then it's actually a good thing. So these are all the good things, right? So what is that? So these are all the patterns, and then now the good things ahead as well. Now let's segment in terms of jobs. I actually touched because we're talking about humans. In terms of jobs, right? Let's segment different people among ourselves. First of all, let's think about the grade 1 to grade 12, which is actually school going kids. They are actually right now they are learning with AI, they are growing with AI. So they might not have a problem when they actually come to the workforce and also when they contribute to the world. So they will embrace and they will be ready for the whole thing because we will already be rambling, we will be shaking, we will be jolting, and we will be at a stage and at that time they will be totally ready. So grade 1 and grade 2 or grade 12 are completely figured out. The people who are in the college, they are kind of similar to the whole scenario, but they are closer to the problem. The sense they are closer to the workforce. So there, they need to be very much, they need to be challenged, they need to prepare themselves for the future workforce. The biggest problem or the biggest victim are the ones who are actually the freshers and ready to come to the workforce. The maturity of the AI today, apparently all experts, Maturity of the AI is not a school kid, it is actually a college kid, where, or the college graduate who can do certain things, given instruction, given certain things. Right? That's the maturity right now. This is exactly where the AI is sitting. So, college-wise, college kids, the freshers who are ready to get into the workforce, they are getting affected. So that is one. So they need to get prepared for it. And in terms of the existing workforce, what they need to do is we need to get prepared to embrace the AI and stuff. The real power, the superpower, if we have to get through, it is mainly the humans plus AI. We need to work with AI. We need to manage AI. We need to understand AI. So that is the clear superpower. That is where we all need to go in order to make our place, in order to be existent, in order to be thriving in this world. There are three kinds of jobs which will actually evolve. So this is also human, right? So jobs is very important aspect. Many of you might be students, so it will be useful. The three jobs which will actually evolve, three types. First type, which will be more repetitive, more repeatable. So that will be that's all. So the three jobs that will evolve. The first one will be sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So first one to evolve will be somebody who will be able to manage, somebody will be able to understand. See, somebody like prompt engineers or the context engineers, and then who will be able to work with the AI. So somebody who understands, who will be in the human in the loop kind of person, the analyst, the finance analyst, lead analyst. That's the first type of job which will evolve. The second type of job which will evolve is actually who is the specialist. So doctors, the teachers, the content creators. They will actually work with the AI. So first one is actually who understands and manages AI. Second one is more about the who works with the AI. So the third one is a very special one where you are more human. The specialization actually that is where it actually matters. So we talked about one special item about combination of human and AI. There's no competition between human and AI. Here, main competition is about as Sonu when he started his co, somebody who actually works with AI, who manages AI, who masters AI, against somebody who has not mastered AI, who has not touched upon AI. So that is where we need to fit in somewhere. This whole game we have to fit in somewhere. While the world is actually revolving around the whole AI revolution, we all need to fit in somewhere. Right? We need to make our place. So what is our specialty? What is our specialty? Our specialty is humanness. Like the gentleman said, we need to specialize ourselves in this whole space in order to make our space in the whole loop. What are the things we can actually do? Creativity, innovation, curiosity, finding the purpose, how we can actually make an impact. See, in the health app, right? You might be a coder in the health app, but there might be something using whiteboarding and all. You might generate the code, but there is a responsibility there, right? So that is something only human can. So you can see it might actually affect a baby. So baby might die. So it's our responsibility. It's a human responsibility to be in that loop. So that is where our place is there. So we need to find our place. I'm repeatedly saying that we need to find our place in this whole thing. Nobody is going to stop this revolution. Nobody can stop this revolution because world runs with a capitalistic drive. There are Max 7 working and then they are going to drive it. We are pretty much in a way we are following, truth of, even if you go against, you can go to your room and go sleep in your home. But this is the world which is driving it. But we need to make our place. We need to have better place. We need to build a better place in this world, right? We need to build a better world by making our existence. In order to do that, we need to become more human. My message today is actually becoming more human. Becoming more human, how you can actually become more empathetic. You can become more empathetic, more emotional in this whole group. Now is the time we need to be more emotional. Now is the time we need to be more connected. We need to be holding hands together around. Now is the time to care to each other. AI will come and it will become an agency. Arvind Srinivas is actually showing in his comment, create a biryani curry. I mean, create a list of part items for my South Indian biryani style biryani style cooking, and then he types that prompt, and then he can goes to the big basket or wherever, and then it collects everything. And given the prompt, correct prompt, it actually completely takes it and then does everything, and then the shopping is also done. Similarly, any travel agent, everything will actually happen. So that is where again the three parameters, right? Three things will happen. One is the repeatable jobs will be replaced. Repeatable prescribable jobs will be replaced. Again, repeatable prescribable, which can be given as an action, will be replaced. Second one, what will happen is it is more about working with the AI. It is where our companies will actually compress the number of jobs. For example, if 20 engineers are there, they will actually reduce it to five. So every individual is actually equal to 5 million when there is a wider number of applications, AI applications. The first one is a replaceable, second is a compressible, third one is where the humanization. So that is where we can actually make our place. So in the second category also we can make our place by being a human in the loop and working with the AI, basically the doctors and everybody who's in the even if you are working in a health app, you can be a human. You have to be more human now in order to make a better world. Like the way he actually raised his point, we need to be more human in this whole thing. That is the answer actually. So that is where we all need to work in order to be more human. The third one is where more human and more specialized. So now I kind of conclude AI is there, revolution is happening. We all need to embrace. We cannot avoid it. This is for betterment of the human society, or we can use it as betterment of human society. We can make more as human as worth only by staying by doing two things. One is becoming more human. Second is to specialize on anything. Specialization is the key to for your sustenance. If you want to stay normal, if you want to have a job, specialize on something in that job and then stay there. You will have a job, you will have a car, you will have better lifestyle. But if you want to, this is the right time in order to create startups, do better things, do new things, and then become specialized and then make an impact. Because this right now world is actually shaking in terms of the AI innovation and stuff like that. So I wanted you to take three things. One is if you want to stay in a job, embrace AI, but work with AI, be a human in that loop. Second is to specialize yourself in something. That is the key here. Third is be more and more human. Empathy, I just say some keywords in terms of what is humanness. Empathy, emotion, curiosity, innovation, uh, leadership, strategic thinking, critical thinking. These are the spaces we can actually play around. We need to make ourselves in this whole thing. So be more human, build more communities. This is actually an initiative as well. AI community is also a good thing where we all hold hands together and then make sure that we all become more and more human. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now the first topic, and sir said, aren't this complete opposites? I feel that. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause, everyone. And it's time for a break. But before break, let's take a selfie together and post it on hashtag AI anytime, hashtag AI day. And your own hashtags, let's see who's more creative here. Is it? Let's go.
Yeah, so sorry. Okay, thank you so much. You will not get coffee unless everybody please take out your cell phone. Take out your cell phone. Take a selfie with your neighbor right now. Five, 4, 3. Yeah, tag the neighbor, tag the. You can take a selfie of your lane or second lane, third lane. Somebody is taking the other opposite lane also, which is okay. We can have women empowerment or that's okay. Everybody, yeah. Hashtag AI anytime, hashtag Quadris. If you're done, please grab your coffee. I grab unlimited snacks, okay? Make sure, I mean, don't settle down yourself, but make sure, show some energy and everybody start networking with each other. The coffee and snacks is only not to consume, to network or probably get to know each other, okay? Just do cheers and let the coffee spill over each other and show some energy, okay? Thank you so much, guys. We will begin in another 10 minutes? No, 15 minutes. Let's give them more time. Maybe 10 minutes? Yeah, 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoyed it. Did you? Are you enjoying it actually? I can't hear you had your samosas there. I saw people having 4 to 5 samosas. So, show me the energy now. Yes?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the evening?
Yes.
So, what day is it?
Yeah.
You didn't have your breakfast? We provided breakfast. Now are you on the energy high? What day is it? What day is it? And what time is it? What? Can't hear you. No voice from here. What day is it? What time is it? I see my friends are more energetic, guys. This is not good. So, all of us together, what day is it? What day is it? Okay. Let's keep the spirit.
Actually, there was a challenge between Mahima and me. I told there will be 2 or 3 ambulances waiting downstairs Draper House. Why? Any guesses? Because there will be some people bleeding their throats because of yelling. AI will take it as a pollution. The context is being changed. Sonu will be like context is pollution, pollute kar rahe hain and all. So this is what happens. So normally, what we say is the more the energy, the better the package will be. Package as in the CDC. Okay. If you don't show your energy to your manager or to your recruiter, he asks you what is prompt engineering. You have to say what? You have to break the table. I'd say, sir, prompt engineering is old school or Doordarshan days. Like the way Sonu played. You should be louder enough. So probably if you have any questions, we'll go quickly before we start the panel. So the mic is all yours. Now, apart from the coffee or the snacks or the samosa, if you are having fun, we need to see the hashtags. In fact, we can do a search and list out your Instagram. If you need million followers, we have a hack. There is an AI bot. How many of you want million followers? In fact, if you have 10,000 followers on Instagram, there are people who will pay you. Then you can monetize your skills. You think I'm faking, but you do a fact check, okay? You do a fact check through an AI-based algorithm. Anybody who has 10,000 followers on Instagram, show of hands. It's a huge opportunity. Sitting silent, like the way Sonu told, most Indians take 3 minutes to answer when other people take less than 3 seconds. Now, in cases like this, mainly for youngsters, we take 3 hours to answer. You need a push. Bolo, bolo, bolo. Okay? As in, most of you are developers or software guys, you are very soft spoken. We know that. You are not social. We understand that. But on social media, nobody is social. Nobody might comment on your hashtag post. How many of you had posted? Show of hands. Everybody look in the room. Show. Raise. If you are raising only this much, you have done only probably graph. Show of hands. Everybody, please stand up. Please stand up. Look at each other. Look at each other. Look at each other. Look at each other. Any postings? Will not put you on the spot. This is what happens. Grab the opportunity. There are recruiters in the room. If you need 1 crore package, there are people in the room. Trust me, I'm not bluffing, okay?
There are some people, there are some folks who are sitting silently. If you need 50 lakhs CTC or 1 crore, there are people in the house who are silently monitoring you. Visibility, the more the visibility, the more the credibility, and the more the credibility, the more the profitability. Everybody repeat after me. More visibility, more credibility. And more credibility, more profitability. If you sit silent, nobody will come and offer you the work. Okay? And over to Mahima. Yeah. Thank you.
So, now we are at a moment where AI is not just transforming industries. We all agree? We use AI everywhere. So AI we use how we work. It's operating industries, factories, or also the startups we say. The startup projects AI, the name says AI here. So like that, we have a panel discussion now. So in panel discussion, we have leaders who understand the shift from powerful angles. So I'd like to invite our panelists. So first panelist, Milind Sule, leads product and engineering at Hexagon R&D India. So I'd like to invite Saran to the stage, please. So our second panelist, Kulvinder Puri, is an enterprise IT and infrastructure leader. His view on how AI is shaping IT roles and enterprise systems. I'd like to invite. Now, our third panelist, Sanathana Selvan, is the founder and chief belonging officer at Unity Circle. And also guiding this conversation is a moderator Yash. So let's all put our hands together for them.
Thanks, Mahima, and good morning and welcome everyone. It's a great turnout today. Happy to see everyone over here. Selvan has already covered a lot of things that I wanted to speak in this session in this time, but we'll continue. So the topic for today's discussion, I will jump right in because in the interest of time, we're already running late. I jump right in. The topic that we are covering today, the future of jobs in the AI era. That's the overarching theme that we want to speak about. But we have three different panelists over here, and everyone brings in a very different lens of how things are. For example, Millen brings in the product and engineering lens to things. Govinder brings in the infra and product, the infra and operations lens to things, and Selvan obviously brings in the culture and belonging, the culture and the belongingness. Uh, so we are hearing AI everywhere, and net I was reading about it some time ago. Management consultants, so the likes of Bain, BCG, McKinsey are pushing their consultants to use AI in every task that they are doing. So if earlier a consultant was given, let's say, 5 days to complete a report, they're expected now to complete the report in less than a day or in a few hours. So that fallout has taken a toll on the consultants. And there was an example some time ago. So Deloitte was fined almost $500,000 by the Albanese government and close to $400,000 by the Australian government because they gave out a report which was too much AI generated and had too many errors to it. So with this, I begin as to how things are shaping up. And the first topic that we are touching today is what's changing, what's the undercurrent like, and how are things actually happening in the industry. Milind, I would like to ask you, coming from the product and the engineering part of things, how do you see jobs and how do you see the hiring, how do you see the work changing? Or maybe how do you see AI helping your product developers develop the products that you're developing?
Yeah, I think some of the things will be very obvious to the audience here. In terms of what is changing, what is already changed is that for our development, we are all using the AI tools to assist us. right? So every developer now is using one of the code review tools or the code generating tools to do things faster, better. Uh, but the roles are gradually changing without us understanding this. So earlier, when we started with AI, the developer was writing the code and using the AI to review the code. But now what's also happening is AI is generating the code and developer is becoming the actual reviewer of the code. So, uh, so that's happening. So whether we like it or not, that's happening. But in the end, developers still need it because what we generated by AI, we cannot blindly just take it and put it in the system and say, yeah, this is all good. I hear a lot about white coding and things like that. Good. Yes, we can build it. The first type of things you can build quickly. But when I'm building a system, enterprise system, great systems with, maybe 20, 30, 40 systems integrated together, and anything goes wrong there, who's responsible? Like one gentleman here was asking, who's responsible? Right? Uh, so I think humans are not going out of the loop anytime soon, in my opinion. So we are very much there, and product engineering is still there. Overall software engineering is still going to stay there. What will happen, or what is happening is the emphasis is shifting more on the quality for us. That we are doing a better job using the AI tools. I think that's what I am seeing.
Thanks, Amu, for that. I think that's a great perspective. I would like to move to Gurinder now, just very quickly. If you can. So Gurinder works on the operation and the infra part of things. AI, as we know, needs a very strong backend. So data centers, the cloud, the networking, the computing power that we are trying to hear about. How do you see infra roles being affected by AI? What's again circling back to the question? What's the undercurrent? What's happening in the industry?
So actually, there's a lot of development as even Sonu said, there is a change in the LLM from LLM this LCMs now. So there's not big change as Julian said. There will be always a reviewers who has to review it. The time is changed where everybody has to code. You have to code. You have to see like the logs are there. Somebody has to look at the monitor screen that something is going wrong. Or you have to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning that some server went down or something like that. So it's like the agents are already there. So they are working on the network. They're even sensing the issues. They are fixing the issues even before their eyes. Uh, we are actually in a very good place in the perspective of AI. It's working better for us actually. But we always need somebody who has to review. The human touch has to be there.
Absolutely, we are trusting AI to review the code, but we don't exactly know if AI understands code fully or not.
So that's why LCMs are there, right? So you have the conceptual models, right? So to understand everything with that.
Absolutely. You had a point.
So I've worked with many companies in the past and through my journey, and I've worked with companies which are insisting that every line of code has to be covered with unit tests and quality has to be top notch and all that. And there have been companies which really don't care about it, and they have been for them, optimizing the effort has been the prime thing. So now what happens is that even those companies can afford this. Yeah. I mean, because the AI is helping, cover all these things or meet the quality standards at a much cheaper cost. Yeah. So I believe this is a good thing because now the developer does not have that the barrier that okay, I have to spend, I'm writing my code feature functionality for one day and then I spend 2 days covering this with unit tests. So that barrier is gone. They are not afraid of this. They are, oh, yeah, fine. You want covering of 80%, 90%. I'm happy to do it because they now have assistive tools at their disposal. So I think that's another shift that I have seen.
Absolutely. Even in my organization, I'm seeing GitHub Copilot adoption at a very uh, fire pace. So every customer, every account is saying, I need all my developers to use GitHub Copilot. That is the reality how we are doing it. Moving to 7G, you have already covered a lot in your part of the conversation. But I really wanted to check with you also. How do you see AI AI affecting the belongingness at work and the type of roles. For you have seen ERG, you have seen hiring, and you have seen how GCCs work within Hyderabad, within India. How do you see this going? And again, the undercurrent. What's changing? What's the shift happening in the industry?
As I kind of thank you for this question. So I have this gives me an opportunity to add certain things. So as I said, jobs will be replaced, which is going to be beatable, frustrated. That is going to happen, and that is already happening. We have to make our place will be working with the AI, and that is what we are already doing. So in terms of belongingness, kindness, culture, this is the time we need to actually build more into this. So in fact, though I actually talked about humanness, we need to leverage more technology, and that is where we work with politics as well. In terms of implementing more into this, see today engagement is there. So I can tell you the statistic thousand respondents we have got in terms of the ERP participation across the GCCs. I have sent out 1,000 respondents, employees have responded. Only 20% are actively participating in engagement, and that too is being done as a HR checkbox. So this is a very important statistics I real time which I have gone up in my spreadsheet. It's really happening where it's being only as a checkbox item is happening. We need to be more human and more connected. Right now in the time we need to have the ERG measurement, engagement measurement. We need to implement AI in this. We need to have culture sense, which is a product we are actually working, where we need to measure culture in the company. We need to improve the culture. We need to have more belongingness in the company. We need to have more psychological safety in the company. Because the next product which we will work with for research is here, there will be AI bots as well and also humans. We need to learn to work together with them. So we will have HRIS, which will actually manage the life cycle of the AI bots as well. So that is the futuristic thing, not today. But that is where we need to evolve. We need to work towards that in order to keep the human life. So in order to address, we need to implement technology. We need to embrace AI in order to build more humanness. That is my advocacy. But yeah, that is the yeah. So things are changing. Definitely things will change. As you said, right? So the compression will happen. We will have 20 engineers or 20 doctors or 20 nurses. All of them will become five. Whoever has embraced AI, they will stay. Those are the five who have embraced AI. All the 15 will come out, and those 15, what they need to do, they need to be skill and upskill, they need to come back, either as a specialized one or they embrace AI and come back. That is the shift which is happening. And yeah, sorry, it's a good category. So I think we have three different lenses on the things that we have asked. But still, the network thing that I could understand is the roles are shrinking. So from a 20-member team, you could go to a 5-member team. But now I wanted to understand for those 5 members to be the 5 members who actually work. Yeah. What are the skills that they should develop? The young folk that are here out there, they want to understand what skills do leaders look for in the next 3 to 5 years, so that they are the people working in those five and not all the 15 that are not working. So, Milind, if you could help me with the quick answer.
So, yeah, this is something which we all are experiencing, and we are searching, you can say, what everywhere I go, everybody talks about this framework, that framework, use this, use that, and uh, you know, but what I see is everybody has also a question mark on their page. How do I use this and leverage it? Yeah. So how do I leverage this to improve my efficiency, my productivity, my customer experience? So that's a question everybody is asking, and very few people seem to have that answer. And I think that skill is the most important one, in my opinion. Just to give an example, yesterday, we were trying to, get my car to service, and we made a call to some uh, car company, and then they had IVR system, and that IVR system took us through two different modes of working. One with dialing and other taking voice commands mix. So it was very difficult to understand, okay, what are supposed to do? Are you just supposed to press a button or are you supposed to talk? And then after 2-3 levels of IVR, it was like, okay, we are moving. So now just imagine this. This is where exactly as your power GTP, where I don't have to worry about how many levels of IVR I have to go to. My context has to be understood by the system. And then they have to, that system should, I should not have to do the labor to explain to that system that what I want from. As soon as I say my requirement, that relative system should grasp it. It should retain the context and should take the action that needs to be taken. Yeah. Now, how many IVR systems exist out there today? Right? Hundreds, thousands probably, right? And there's so much tons of work to be done to, really turn them into, as I said, empathetic systems. Which have empathy in the humans who can react to the humans. And, it's not a labor for us to get the service that we want. The labor should be on the generative system to understand our context and serve us what we want. So that's where we should be going on, opinion. And that's the skill the builders should have always to see a system and see where you can introduce this and get this, to solve a problem.
Absolutely, I think so. The service industry is being affected a lot. But more than that, the contact center modernization and the contact center automation piece of use case for AI is very fast picking up. I, we are seeing the shrinkage in contact center or call center, as we call them, or BPO at a very rapid pace in India. And but there are a few companies who are taking the exact opposite route to placing an AI in front of the customers who are calling it. They are probably, I don't know, it's still a debate as to if you call and directly speak to a human that can solve your problem better, or you can call and navigate through an AI. But still, the vital adoption, 99% of companies are adopting AI and replacing the actual human agents behind this system.
Yeah. No, so that was just an example. The real crux is, so when you talk about user experience, right? So that is primarily being seen as a UI thing, right? A lot of companies see UX as UI. Yeah, but that I think AI is shifting that dynamic now. Yeah, so it's not just AI, it's voice, it's everything else. So I think the way the user experience itself is going to change. So if you are into user experience, I think you have a very great job to do right now. How do you change the whole user experience using AI? I think that's another aspect.
Thank you very much. That is thank you. Kunal, I would have a same question to you. What skills do you see in the infra and the operations space people should develop to be a very prominent part or attractive resource in the next 3 to 5 years?
So like somebody said that there is no job is taken by AI. It's only replaced by somebody who is using AI, right? So you have to be more like perpetual now to learning. You don't have to be like the old way of learning, like you're doing a degree for like a year or so. That those things are obsolete now. So you have to really keep learning and keep adapting to the new learnings, and you have to utilize those learnings in your working.
Absolutely, need to be upskilling and learning. Simon, again, the same question to you. Where do you see the skill parameter going?
Absolutely. Thank you for this. I think they have added from their perspective. So very importantly, there is this model called LEAD, LEA. So learn continuously, experiment relentlessly, adapt quickly, and practice manually. I'll repeat it again. There's no slide, right? Learn continuously, experiment relentlessly, adapt quickly, and practice humanity. I think if we do this, then we will find our place. And as I said, we need to specialize and also be more human. So the learn continuously actually elaborates about growth mindset. If you have to be curious. We need to become, so that is the curiosity is a human element. right? So we need to become more and more curious today in order to make our place. We need to learn a lot. We need to move ourselves out of comfort zone. Otherwise, we'll be out of in that 15 out of 20 who will come out. So growth mindset is very key. So leap is something you want to keep in mind. So that is what it is. Yeah. So I need to say this.
Thank you. Before we move ahead, any questions, anyone? We'll have a few questions from the audience. I think we only have 2 minutes, but Shravanji.
Yeah, hi sir. Myself, Dr. Sonu, I'm a professor. My point is that nowadays students are using as a tools rather than it's a very easy to develop a project, develop a research, and go through or developing an algorithm easily. But our point is that we are giving as a project scenarios or they are trying to write a in tools and trying to develop a tool and trying to giving a word file or any other symposium as a human. It's easy to handle to as a professor is easy, but they are not giving as a novelty point of view. They're not thinking about their human right. Like it is very easy as a AI concern as a project, but how we can develop a student? You cannot say don't use an AI. You cannot say like it's a as a AI research. I cannot say don't say as a. But how we can train as their human right can research, I think.
Sorry, I take a lecture and sorry. So, this is something happened to me. So I'm actually doing a PhD education in ISB, and my professor actually gave us a task. He gave a PDF file and there was a data sheet. We had to come up with the paper analytics. So for that, I actually just uploaded in ChatGPT and I got the detailed report, very categorical, very detailed, very nice. It was very satisfying. So I could have actually sent it. Then I actually very concerning question which I had for myself is that what is that I am doing in this whole thing, right? So exactly like your student. So that is where I actually try to research into what is that we can actually do. That is where the humanness actually comes. That is where, as a professor, you need to check storytelling. How I will actually tell about the whole thing in the whole in a very empathetic manner, in a very cover manner, depending on the subject. Second is humans are the one who can actually make the purpose, impact in the actual. We know why it matters. So very clearly, IQ is actually taken off. IQ, EQ, SQ. IQ is in question that is already taken off. Today we don't need to know the 12th table, right? So IQ is taken off. If you want any knowledge, you can actually ask for it and you can get it. There are a number of around us. We have so many agents or the chat bots to ask for. So IQ is taken off. Now it's EQ is time and SQ is time. Social. So that is what we need to check. Do they have the curiosity? Do they have the storytelling? Insights will be there in the deck, from the chat GPT. But can they elaborate on that? Can they go deep into that and then talk about storytelling, leadership, strategy, thinking, critical thinking? This is what professors have asked. Sorry.
No, I think your questions has to be changed as well, not to be in the like the old style in the universities, right? I know professors maybe well know how to make them in a way that they do not go to the AI as well, right? So you can have more interactive sessions, right? So that they'll be doing more research in the class rather than going to the AI.
Hello everyone, I am Vignesh. So in a world where AI is reshaping every role, how do you handle the stress of getting a job and getting laid off?
Ah, you can clap. So this is the common question everybody gets. Like whenever we see AI, we see a threat, right? We think like some algorithm might replace me. So, but the straight answer is no. Nobody's going to replace you. So there is always like you always need somebody. Right? Algorithms are there. Everything is there. AI is there to teach you everything. But to do it, to implement it, so all those things have changed. For example, earlier you just writing the code. Now you have the AI to write the code for you. You just have to implement it, and you have to just learn that how it will solve the problem, what it will do, and why you need it. You are kind of architect now. You are no more a developer anymore. So you always be there. Just a follow-up question. So, we young professionals, how can we
Somebody takes. If somebody is pushed out of job, that means, as we discussed, you are 15 out of 20. So you were in comfort zone, you were pushed out, which is an opportunity. How to get to the growth zone? You need to learn. Learning, fear, after comfort zone, that is fear zone, that is learning zone, and then you have the growth zone. So you need to learn. This is an opportunity. And then you have to think big. Opportunities are lying there everywhere. You don't have to even look for a job. You can create something for in our country. So something you can think bigger. You can do more. So learn more. And then if you want, find a job. But you have for that, you have to learn more. So basically, it's really Peter, right? So leading is something you need to follow, but it is an opportunity. If you are laid off, be happy, and then do not go into division. It's not the end of life. So the world is made opportunities are there everywhere. Why US only have to lead the world, right? We can lead the world. You have to, as a nationalist, my friend Sonu told, we need to do a lot of things we can do in this country. So, a lot of opportunities hanging around. Take it as an opportunity. Do not see a layoff as a bad. It's a very good thing. You are very lucky that, not you. You are very lucky that you are laid off. I'm saying.
Thank you for your answer.
Yeah, I mean, we are all using AI, and I have not laid off anybody just because of AI. If I have good people, I am very, very keen to retain them. And, you know, I don't see that there is any dearth of work out there or, any fear for this. If you are good in what you do, you will have work. There is absolutely no fear in that.
Uh, Good afternoon. I am Anand. I'm an advocate by profession. I have a question here. Is there is already a big difference? The faster we have seen the time period what IT has succeeded in the world, and the time frame for the AI is getting much shorter than what IT industry has been. So usually at the time I finished my high school and some professional course with engineering or any of that, by the time AI graduate probably will be going to a next level of AI or different thing. And if you are from Hyderabad, you know we had a old saying that America via Amir page. So we had institutes. No, I'm talking because the old timers basically understand what I meant to say. So, and the pace at what AI is going ahead today. So, as soon as I move out of college, graduate from college, I'm already obsolete. Okay. The industry understands, the employer understands this. But is the employer in India is so mature, okay, to take people without degrees, with talent, just talent. That is the question because we have seen this is happening in Europe, America. We talk about them, we talk about their laws, we talk about AI being developed there. We have to be more desi. We want to talk. Are the employers ready? Are the IT industry, various startups ready? Employing people without the university degrees just because they have skill on performing their duties. Would they be getting into AI kind of a roles or various IT roles?
So the change is happening, you are aware of it, and the change is happening now, and you are also part of it, right? So it's happening all around us. So there is a lot of things there. There is AI governance there. There's ethical part of it.
My question is, are the employers ready to employ people without university degrees, just on their skills?
Yes, they are.
Sir, as some of you have worked overseas, so I understand what it means to work in a petrol bunk here, doing a labor job here and there. So you understand that, right? What sense I meant to say. So are degrees necessary today is a big question because they are obsolete when I was doing my degree to that particular time, and we're still studying the same syllabus. If you know, various universities are coming up with new things. They're talking about cybersecurity. They're talking about they have introduced new courses just to attract, okay, get a higher income for the institutions. But is the industry also ready to take all these youngsters not based on the university degrees? See, I have a lot of people coming with AI security engineering degrees, and when they come into the field, okay, they go back to the AI for prompt engineering. They're doing various searches on engineering rather than using their mind after 4 years of education. Okay, with that level of education standards that we have in India, okay, is the industry ready to take them only based on skill, not on university degrees?
So I think there are two parts to it. Yeah, so when you go through a structured engineering course, you're building a lot of foundation. Yeah, so it's not necessary that it's giving you a readiness to be employed and start being productive from day one, right? So it's not bad to have that foundation at all. So if you're a student and if you're going through a graduation or undergrad course, it's good. I mean, go through it. It's not that you have to necessarily skip it. Even if employers are going to take you without it. Yeah. I think that's already happening. The shift is already there because there are so many open source and platforms or the other platforms where you can register and start working. They are nobody's asking your degree. They're just looking at your reputation and they're giving you work based on that. And that's happening. The companies, I mean, they are a bit more cautious. They want to project a certain level of maturity in the workforce. They want to go through a structured approach. So that's why the big houses are little cautious on this. But I'm sure there are startups who are not really caring so much, but they are ready to take, even if you are like, as long as you are good, they are taking away. I've heard of some junior colleges from where students have actually worked with some of the startups and companies, not only in India but abroad, where they have contributed, they are already contributing directly. And those companies are not only just letting them work, but they are also supporting them to finish their education further. Yeah, and to upskilling. So it is happening. It may not happen in a bulk and mass case, but it is happening. And it's up to a company, right? I mean, I cannot force a company to change their policy overnight. It's for each company to think this through and then take their policy decision.
No, the reason that I just asked is half of the tech leaders that we talk about, uh, any industry, especially in tech, they're all mostly college dropouts. Okay, the trend has been picked up in the West. I could possibly say, in India, we see a lot of societal norms, various family peer pressures, industry.
I think that is changing quite a lot now. In my opinion, I know quite a few youngsters who are going out there and doing things that they want to do. And they're doing it boldly. I don't see them shyness or any kind of lack of confidence in it.
I totally agree, sir. What I'm trying to say is the percentage is a bit of minority stage. And again, I should say, I should bring this to people's knowledge that this opportunity based on your skills. So trust yourself. Your engineering degrees are basically obsolete today. So what Mr. Selvan has just mentioned, leap is something.
I don't agree to that engineering is obsolete. It's not obsolete. The fundamentals that we have built over the years are not obsolete. They are going to be with you for your life.
What I meant to say, the education should also be time framed in a much lesser time frame. Okay, if a person is capable of finishing their engineering, okay, the 21-year period of age or basically 15 or 17 years of education, if they are capable of doing it, the government should allow doing them in whichever period, whatever place they want to. If they want to finish in 10, that should be allowed. They should not put any restrictions that you should be getting into engineering only at the age of 70.
Yeah, I think this is more a policy decision at the government level. But we cannot comment on that.
Yes, I agree with that. But the only thing is like the policy comes only after the industry picks it up.
Yeah, so I support what Vineet said. And also, we have to appreciate what Vineet said about the responsible automation. And that's he said about how he actually treats people, even though they are not, he doesn't lay off people, right? So that's something we have to appreciate. Apart from that, I wanted to address this comment, Anand's comment. You know, Zoho, Sridhar Bembu has actually started a company aside in his village. Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. He is pioneered into that. He gets the all school kids. Actually, he actually runs a company separately or separate division and exactly tries this out. So he is actually a pioneer into it. So it's happening. And also, I wanted to add to Milind, uh, why the situation actually there is a disruption happening in terms of college graduates are not able to get to the job now. They are already innovating, they are already curious, they are learning a lot, they are pushed into the non-comfort zone and they are doing a lot. So they are actually very fast and it's actually evolving. So students and the freshers who are ready to join the workforce, they are taking their advanced actually. I want to tell that.
In the interest of time, I'll quickly move ahead. But thank you for the various perspectives. And I completely agree with your point. So Zomato also has a very interesting program that they are running. So their delivery partners are becoming product managers. There was a big story around it. Zoho also, their janitor is now an engineer in their company. And we are trying to do something similar. So at startups, this is the trend is there, hiring without degrees. But then again, you have to show your caliber. So as my mentor has said, even if you have to be good enough. पेड़ के नीचे छाता लेके बैठोगे भी तो भी लोग आएंगे आपसे काम करवाने के लिए. So if you are good enough, that people will come to you. So you have to develop your skills. And very last point. So AI's output is restricted by your own creativity. The output directly correlates to what you tell AI to do. So if you are thinking in first principles and you're using system level thinking to actually think of a problem in a very holistic manner, then only you can ask AI to solve your problem. So if your creativity is just limited to writing a very basic prompt, then you cannot ask AI to do something research grade or something which is enterprise grade. So if you are clear in your concepts and those concepts come from formal education, you can learn on your own obviously. But in India, you have so many people competing for the same job. Why will a recruiter not hire from an IT graduate or let's say triple IT graduate instead of a person without a degree? But having said that, if your concepts are clear, if your ideas are clear, and you are strong at your work, then a job exists for you. So with this, I think we are almost at the end of it. I would like to take a few more questions very quickly. I have one hand there, one hand here. If you can ask your queries. Okay, I have more than three, four hands.
Hello, sir. So I am Aisha, and I love programming, like problem solving and everything. But now that we have AI and vibe coding, which is everywhere, what should I expect in my future? Please guide me.
Yeah, I think right now everybody's treating it as programming is right. It's not. Yeah. So a lot of people are still programming. Yeah. So don't be afraid is the first thing I will say. And then secondly, yes, understand how you can leverage AI tools to better the output that you can do and faster. And during your interviews or whatever, just say it and use that as a leverage. And I think that's all really. If you're good at programming and you're building, then I think there's always a place for it. And although there's white coding, as I said, I have personally integrated a lot of complex systems. Yeah, so I'm hands-on with that. I know integrations are not easy. Yeah, when real systems are built and integrations are done, a small thing can just break in the field and cause a havoc. And so, white coding is not going to change that. Yeah, so you will need expert people, you will need talented people to go in, debug, and fix issues. Which AI complexity is going to become even more. So who's going to fix those problems? We need people to fix that, right? So there's plenty of space for everybody.
Like, what can be the key skills to learn in this
So
process?
I think apart from the core engineering skills, how the system should be built, that you should know really well. Just because AI that don't discount them. Yeah, focus on core engineering skills as well, foundational skills. Then programming expertise. I mean, if you are a programmer, you must be programming expertise should be there. On top of that, now other things like prompt engineering and all AI skills, whatever you heard from Sonu today, the context engineering, those things also just upgrade yourself to understand those also. Even if you're not an expert in that, just at least know what those things are. Yeah, so when the context comes, you are able to apply it and quickly use. That's what I would say.
I think the last question.
Good afternoon, sir. So, my question is that as an industry expert, nowadays the students are focusing on how we can integrate AI within our skills and how we can again within the block to the companies where I contribute something to the companies again. But I think that AI actually bridges a gap between the creativity of a person to the technology. So instead of focusing on how we can use AI to upskill ourselves and go fit in the block of it, going into some companies and working for them again, how do you think that this AI, where coding and building applications are becoming so easy, how can a student focus on taking this innovative side of coming with a solution? Because there are millions of engineers that have the technical expertise in, and also they are adopting to AI. So instead of focusing on AI, taking to our skills, how can we use AI as a new thing to use our innovative side and bridge the gaps to come up with new solutions? Because as sir said, US is becoming US is a place of opportunities and it is being taking a lead for many years. So how I know this is self marketing, but I was focusing on an idea where the students who are focusing on just getting into the technical side of the company. I think that is the wrong way of coming after the AI industry in India. So how can I mean, is there a move from industries where they are focusing on getting the innovative sort of a student and make it into a startup using AI? Because going on with the technicalities, because students telling students to come up with the AI skills, come up with the new skills in AI is becoming an old it's becoming restricting the people to learn AI and just come up to with us, come to us with a AI skills and just do the technical part. But I think we can reach the innovative side with AI and come up with the struggles. What do you say? Because I was working on an idea where bridge the students with the AI, where the technical side completely goes off and we can come up with a new.
Maybe we can. So basically, see, here's where we need to specialize. We need to go in. So for me, take for example, right? I'm not a HR, and I've actually taken up. Uh, I've come up with an idea in the human resources space. I want to make an impact. What I've done is I'm actually going deeper into this whole thing about connectedness, belongingness, the emergency, and humans. And I'm actually going into that and how I can actually apply, how I can leverage the technology, the AI, in order to make an impact. So what we can actually do as humans is that go deeper, go to the basics. Like today, very important subjects are physics, chemistry, philosophy. All these things are coming out now as a very highlight. Obviously, technology. I'll give to them to answer from the technological perspective. But from my side, go deeper into the subject, which is something AI knows it, but in order to ask it, in order to instruct it, in order to rightly contextualize it, you need to know what to ask and what is the subject. So then, as he said, right, we need to have a big picture thinking, the systems thinking. Then only we can actually manage AI. And also, we need to, as a entrepreneur or whatever idea, right, you need to understand how AI works also, so that you can use it. So, as a keyword, as a three thing again, I believe, understand AI, manage AI, work with AI. and become a more and more human and specialized. Then you are there. You cannot be avoided in this world. You will shake the world. If you keep me going on to the
Hi. One last question. So everybody's talking about jobs and other things. Why not anyone talking about how to build a company? Because using the tech nowadays, especially AI, why can't we leverage that to do more work, productive work, and do things in a much shorter span, so that we can ourselves build companies, solve multiple problems, and work on ideas which actually make some sense. So that's what my view is. What are your opinions?
That is the number one use case of AI, increasing productivity of everyone involved. But
so yeah, I think this is the right time. World is actually shaking right now with the AI. This is the right time to start a company. You need to, if you have an idea, build on it and work through it, go deeper, and also leverage AI. Do not leave AI. Work with AI, manage AI, understand AI, but you go deeper. And this is the right time to start a company. I mean, that is where our opportunity is lying. Starting a company comes with two things. One is either need is pushing you, like the way he said, you're laid off and you don't have any other way, you're not getting a job, you don't know anything to what to do, then you're trying to start a company. That's the need is. Second is I'm passionate. Find your passion, find your niche in thing which is there inside you, which will actually excite you. Find that niche thing and then go find that and then build a product around it. Definitely, world is very big. Opportunities are there hanging around. Just even that. So startup is that's where the ecosystems are there. Draper House is there. Tea cups are there. So a number of places are there. Politics is a startup. We are a startup. So it's the right opportunity, and this is the time. 2025 is the right time. Not me. I'm not saying. OpenAI CEO and everybody is saying this. Arvind Srinivas is saying. Everybody is saying. Start a company if you have an opportunity. If you have your mom or dad or father-in-law funding. So
thank you, everyone. This was a very interesting session, and we had very various perspectives from our esteemed panelists. And hope everyone learned something from this. And thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. Another round of applause for our.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, panelists, for your great explanation. AI should replace its meanings. I genuinely feel this. You'll agree? How many of you are like currently working? So, do you all agree with me? Monday morning meetings should be replaced. So, now next, why don't we shift to fitness? So we have Dollar Kakar here for fitness environment. Hi. How's Josh? Nothing. Seems pretty low. Okay, so let me start with a question. How many of us? So how many of us here use an AI tracking tool to an Apple Watch or an Aura Ring to track your sleep or your caloric intake of the day? That's it. That's it. Like 5 people. Wow, I'm impressed. You're still more human than I imagined. Okay. Um. So one thing that I noticed about AI is that it definitely has helped us spread awareness about our sleep and caloric intake when it comes with regard to health in the health industry, right? Yes. Do we also maybe some of us use apps, if not the expensive stuff, to measure calories? Are you aware of that? Yes. Yes. No. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So when it comes to tracking sleep and calories, we're gonna first scratch the surface on sleep, because even though sleep seems like just something that you feel refreshed after, no, it definitely directly impacts your metabolic health.
Okay. Have we heard of cortisol? Yes. Yeah? Do we know what it does? It's a prolonged stress hormone. Okay? Sleep has a direct impact on reducing cortisol in our body. Okay? Which means it's an inhibitory effect. So the better your sleep is, the less cortisol and the less stress in your body. And this definitely AI is something that helps us track that in a good way by giving you an idea of your quality of sleep, the different stages of sleep that you're going through throughout the night, whether you're getting into an NREM mode, deep sleep, which makes you get into a rest and digest mode, which means lesser cortisol. So let's have a look. We're gonna basically today scratch the surface on weight loss. Yeah? Yes. Okay? Awesome. Alright. Next slide. So yeah, why sleep is step one of fat loss and metabolism. Firstly, it balances hunger hormones. We'll come to that soon. But like I said, it lowers cortisol, your prolonged stress hormone. So cortisol reduces insulin production like sorry. Increased cortisol reduces insulin production. So we know that when someone is diabetic, we give them insulin, right? What does that mean? That insulin is not working efficiently in our body, which is why we have to give insulin. We have to inject it in order for our cells to absorb glucose from our blood. So we know what high blood glucose does to us, right? Diabetes. Yeah, we're aware. So when cortisol is high, which comes through bad sleep, then it reduces the production of islet beta cells in your pancreas, which means it reduces insulin production. That means then you give an injection, you keep continuing to take injections in order for your cells to absorb that glucose that you need to expend energy in the day, otherwise it just remains in your bloodstream, which means diabetes. So, the second point is the hormonal imbalance part. We start feeling hungry if your sleep is compromised. The hunger hormone ghrelin starts increasing. So then immediately as soon as you wake up and throughout the day, you just want to honk. Right? Are you following? Oh, awesome. Alright. Let's switch. Okay, so I myself am not someone who's very deep into AI, so this was quite an interesting research for me also to know. We have some popular sleep trackers here that we're comparing and seeing what works best for us. The Apple Watch, of course, is user friendly. It tracks your sleep stages like rapid eye movement or non-rapid eye movement, which is your deep sleep. Rapid eye movement is more about when you're dreaming. It's more like a state of semi-wakefulness, but your body is a little paralyzed. You can't really move, but you're dreaming in that state. But what you truly want to focus on is getting enough NREM, which is deep sleep throughout the day for your body to go into rest and digest. And as the name suggests, rest and digest, so it helps your body heal and just reduces the stress from you. So the Apple Watch, the Aura Ring, Fitbit, the app, Whoop, which is I think a little more athlete focused recovery, and of course helps with sleep depth measurement. Let's switch to the next one. One thing that the next one. Sorry. One thing that I found that is really, really beneficial when it comes to these particular tracking devices is measuring HRV, which is heart rate variability. It basically gives you an idea about the variation between one heartbeat to the next. Okay? So, have you heard of the sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system? Your sympathetic nervous system is when you're in fight or flight mode. Okay? When you're more active, when your stress levels are slightly probably higher. Your parasympathetic is the rest and digest mode. Basically, A higher HRG means your body is able to adapt from easily from stress to low stress and vice versa. Okay? But a low HRD is inversely in proportional to cortisol production. It increases cortisol, which means that it increases stress as well. This, if you're actually going to consider buying an AI product that helps you measure sleep, then the heart rate variability is something that you may want to look into over a lot of other aspects that you may want to check. Okay, it gives you a direct idea about whether your body is stressed and you need to work on it, or whether you're finding a good balance between your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. Okay, so these are the different stages of sleep: core or light sleep, non-rapid eye movement, stage 1 and 2. This is when your brain enters frequencies between 4 and 8 hertz, which is theta brain waves, etc. This is deep sleep. We can actually skip this. This is probably not something of your interest, and I don't want to take too much of your time. But yeah, what we need to focus most is the deep sleep part for recovery, as is written over here. Okay, let's just the next. Yeah, so how do most AI sleep trackers measure sleep stages? It through accelerometers, which sort of measures your movement or none throughout your sleep time. And of course, like I said, heart rate variability, which is something that you may want to look into when you're considering using an AI app to track your sleep. Okay, so I get a lot of questions when it comes to how to improve your sleep. Of course, one is that you have to make a conscious effort to switch off your phone at least an hour before you sleep. Why? Because prolonged screen time in general compromises on melatonin. Have you heard of melatonin? That's also something that's thrown around a lot these days, right? Melatonin is a hormone that helps you balance your sleep-wake cycle. Okay, so what our blue rays from our mobile phones and screens does is it just directly reduces the melatonin production in your brain. How do we increase it? One is that you can consider supplementing it on a daily basis, because even though you may not see a change directly, I get a lot of this, okay? Like a lot of my clients ask me that, tell me that they're having melatonin, but they haven't seen a change immediately. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to allow it to increase over time. It's already majorly compromised in all our systems, given that we're continuously in front of the screen. And that's okay, that's the reality of today, but you have to know how to balance it out for your own benefit and for your body to maintain its proper state of homeostasis. Okay, so one is that you can supplement it directly. It crosses the blood-brain barrier easily. Second is that melatonin's precursor is serotonin. Have you heard of serotonin? We sort of know it as a calming hormone. Yeah. Okay. The precursor to serotonin is tryptophan, which is an amino acid, which means an amino acid basically is protein. So, in order to get your tryptophan, you have to meet your daily protein requirement. Okay, so that will help your body convert that particular amino acid, which is an essential one, which means it comes only through your diet. Your body doesn't produce tryptophan naturally. So you have to source your protein and then allow your body to convert it to serotonin, which then converts into melatonin. So first, definitely meet your protein requirement. And the second is that you can consider supplementing melatonin on a daily basis. Okay, next one. Okay, now let's come to calories. This may be a little more interesting topic for most of you, because a lot of us think that just going on an extreme calorie deficit is the way to go. Yeah, have you heard of, like, even your AI apps will give you an idea. reduce these many calories. This is your BMR. It asks you three generic questions. It'll be like, this is your basal metabolic rate. This is the amount you're burning. This is how much you're tracking when you're walking. And this is the number of calories you have to eat in order to reduce weight. But it doesn't really work like that. AI has not gotten yet to metabolism. But it still gives you a decent idea about your calorie intake. The first thing you have to look into when you're considering going on a diet or following a specific way of eating is your protein intake. Okay, the ideal protein consumption in a day should be between 0.8 to 1.5 grams per kg depending on your activity level. The more intense your physical activity, the more protein you need. Don't overdo it. Okay, a lot of people overdo it and it really compromises their liver. No, everything has to be balanced and in a moderate amount. So 0.8 to 1.5 grams per kg body weight depending on your activity level. Okay? After that comes balancing good fats and carbohydrates, depending on what energy source you prefer. Both can give energy. In fact, all three protein, carbs, and fats will give energy, but I'm not going to get that into talking otherwise. Yeah. So what I want to talk about is that just reducing calories doesn't mean you lose weight because it depends on your metabolic health. If over time, this now we like nicely parented some samosas and kachoris and the pack. This is the kind of food that we've been eating on a daily basis. Yeah, most of us we just like it's very convenient. AI has made things very convenient. We just like order from Swiggy or Zomato, and we okay, like people are losing attention. Should I go cartwheel right now to like grab some attention? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's try coming back here. Alright, so we're talking about calorie deficits. So, given the kind of food that we've been eating, it's very likely that our metabolic health is majorly compromised. So, for that, you have to work on doing a metabolic reset. It's not done about reducing calories because a lot of times we reduce calories and we still don't see a difference. That's because your BMR is not something that your AI can calculate yet in a specific manner. Okay, it fully depends on a lot of other factors and how compromised it is. So the next slide. Okay, so yeah, these are My Fitness Pal and Fitter, which is an Indian brand. Again, yay, we can try looking into the Indian brand because if we want to help our own economy. But these are two apps that I feel, according to what I have looked up, are actually good. They give you a good macro breakdown. My Fitness Pal also has a huge code database, and Fitter also has a community, a lot of community engagement going on so that you get to also motivate yourselves better through it. Okay, interacting with different people, things like that. I'm not done yet. Okay, what's the next one? Yeah, so this is what we're coming. Let's talk about calorie deficits again. If you go on to an extreme calorie deficit, you can actually put on weight. Have you heard of, like people have hypothyroidism and they try to gain weight and then they start eating really little and even then they don't lose weight? And in fact, they keep gaining weight. That's because they're going on an extreme calorie deficit. What extreme calorie deficits do is that it puts your body into survival mode. Okay? Have you heard of thyroid hormones T3 and T4? Yeah? Okay, so T3 is directly required for your metabolism to be in a healthy state. The lesser T3 you have, the lesser energy you're going to burn. What an extreme calorie deficit does is that it needs to help you survive. So it starts producing something called reverse T3 instead of T3. Because when you're compromising on your calorie intake, that means that you have lesser energy also to produce. So it starts producing reverse T3, which goes and takes the place of T3. T3 is responsible to help your body have a decent basal metabolic rate, which means that for your involuntary actions like heartbeat and breathing and digestion to function on a normal basis, of course, the higher the BMI, the more energy you burn, which means more fat loss. But the body starts producing RT3 so that you can do your voluntary actions more with the little food you're giving it. So that and it reduces your basal metabolic rate. It starts reducing the amount of energy consumed by your involuntary actions. Okay, like again, like the digestion, heartbeat, etc. So are you following? I'm not too sure. This is my first speech. And sometimes I tend to go too early. So if you're not following, then please let me know. Okay, there's literally no response here, so I'm just gonna blabber. Okay. So my point is that an extreme calorie deficit compromises your basal metabolic rate, which means that you burn lesser energy through your involuntary functions of the body, which means that the more extreme you go into calorie deficits, the more you're going to probably put on weight. So, what would be the safe way to go about an extreme calorie deficit? You may not want to go more than 500 kilocalories into a deficit in a day. Okay, that is your upper limit that you should be focusing on. You can go a good range would be anything between 200 or 250 to 500 kilocalories a day. And not more than that. So yeah, like extreme deficit, the thyroid malfunctions, T3 reduces, reverse T3 increases, your body basically enters survival mode, and your fat burning hence reduces. Because the body thinks it's protecting you, it's not punishing you. Your body is designed to keep defending you. But if you keep eating nonsensical food and then when you're going on extreme calorie deficits or fasts also for that matter without knowing how to do it right, then it can majorly compromise your normal way of functioning for the body. Okay, it's always going to find a route to defend you and it can sometimes go haywire as well. Yeah, this we've covered. Next one. Okay, so we're gonna now watch a video on how stress, that is cortisol, which is we scratch the surface on sleep and how it's related to cortisol production. So we're gonna watch a video on how stress, prolonged stress, leads to belly fat, which is a very it's a question that I get a lot about how to reduce belly fat. So this is something you may want to watch. I think the idea to have enrichments before my talk was not that good. I really think I've had samosa kachori and now like your God is all and only up and you're feeling like hungry.
Hey, everybody, please take a picture first so that the handle is dollar.nutrition. Take out your phones. People think, oh, I'm
That's my
looking for
YouTube
dollar.
channel.
Yeah, please take a picture. అక్కడ అంక వాజ్ లైక్ ఈసారి అబ్బా వదలట్లేదు హ్యాష్ ట్యాగ్ అంటాడు ఫోటోలు అంటాడు పబ్లిష్ అంటాడు వైఫై ఇవ్వడు డేటా రీఛార్జ్ చేయడు డిడ్ ఎవ్రీబడి టేక్ ఎ పిక్చర్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ ఓకే subscribe let's watch the video now.
I think you should only talk in Telugu, then everyone will laugh.
No, I asked you to subscribe to the channel.
I know, just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Mine doesn't my baby can just go away. Tell the truth. The problem be damn straight. And I don't know. This story goes on story life. I don't know. Family alive. So why not politely ask if you need would you like a vampire night? No. It's a fact. I'm really talking for the HDAI, the hypothalamus, usually adrenaline. And the two-way for adrenaline and that adrenaline in the print is like that. Okay, so here I'm explaining the difference between adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline is something that helps you deal with a fight or flight situation when you are countering something that's actually stressful. But cortisol is something that keeps in your system continuously. And that's your, like I said, your prolonged stress hormone, and that's the major problem. Glycogen, which is stored fat in your liver, and glucose, which is sugar, and sends it to your brain and muscles so you can act fast. Well, cortisol, which you may know as a stress hormone, feels like stressful itself. It's like, oh, but we need more fuel. Let's go to the liver and convert the proteins also into sugar. Now, this is all great and very much required when you're actually escaping the life. But what if your life is just daily life stress? Work deadlines, traffic, that one friend or boyfriend or girlfriend who texts saying that you need to talk with no context. So basically, your body keeps popping out cortisol when you're in the wild mode all the time. Cortisol keeps breaking down protein, as I mentioned. Cortisol also causes insulin resistance because the insulin from the pancreas is secreted to help blood glucose up into your cells for different functions that your cells need glucose for. But with this excess surge of cortisol in your body, insulin also keeps trying to work, which keeps going and knocking at the doors of your bell, and your bell doesn't sometimes by just eating us, just be them. And when it doesn't bind to it, just has on your cell. Glucose doesn't enter your cell as well and remains in your bloodstream. Not just that, cortisol also stops the production of iron beta cells in your pancreas, which are the ones responsible for producing insulin. So now you have extra glucose floating in your blood and your cells are cooperating. So during that time of your day when the cortisol is a little low and your insulin is able to function of it, that insulin converts all that glucose from your blood back into glycogen stores in the liver. So that's fat plus protein, making sugar, and then all of it together will back as fat. And you're not really pending that glucose because you're actually not in a fight or flight situation throughout the day. And the fight feels go. So there's no way but for you to experience belly fat. Now there are three ways to combat stress and belly fat. Firstly, reduce your carbohydrates. You're already generating a lot of glucose through cortisol. The most important factor that I found to combat stress is sleep. Get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Why doesn't my Alright, so this is the end of it, but before I retire, let's cover three key takeaways from this. One is that what would you look for when you're wanting to track your sleep? You may want to look for anyone if you follow. Yeah, heart rate variability, awesome. And the amount of rest and digest your body is getting into through deep sleep. Okay, non-rapid eye movement. Stage 3. Okay, that is something you might want to track. And in terms of your calorie intake, if you're not losing weight through your AI tracker, you may know that your metabolism is at fault here. Okay, so that is something you may want to look into, for which you may need a health expert. Okay, that's the end of it. Thank you. My name is Donna. You can call me on Instagram if you want some more insights on neurochemistry, neurobiology, whatever. I keep researching about the body. My handle is Dollar Kakar with 2 Ks. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for this valuable. Sure. So now, you all remember we said in the very starting that we were gonna have a quiz? Yeah. We all ready then? Yes. Sure. Okay, so I'll just tell you the process. There's a QR, you all scan it, and you all will get a 20 seconds time, I guess, yeah. So 20 seconds, you all answer, and let's see who wins. You all know us? So let's go, let's see who wins.
Ready, fastest speed.
And again, there is no use of AI here, okay? AI is was only to the stage, not to the audience now. So please use your brains. AI cannot impress us. I agree to that. So everyone just try to answer on your own, okay? So here's like you are, everyone. We'll have a solid 10 questions. Who will answer? You all want me to join the QR, but I know the answers. Shall I win? Shall I get all the goodies then? So these are all the names. Who is this? No masters.
Okay, at least now we got to know your name. Who is Lion Bread? I wish your name is Lion Bread on Aadhaar card or PAN card. Who is Lion Bread? Please stand up. Lion Bread. We have, like Selvan said, we can track you back to the IP and through AI we can spot you. We have AI cameras. Who is Lion Bread? I wish to know that. They updated the name or yeah. The next question. Wait, please. These are the participants. Yes. Okay. Okay, still joining. Anybody still joining? Anybody joining? Show of hands. Shall we go to the next question? Did you capture everybody's name? Because that's where you will network on LinkedIn and also all the panelists will be part of our LinkedIn post or Instagram post. You can also connect with them, ask them questions, and demand your virtual goodies. Okay, not the cloud subscription, Gemini subscription, or ChatGPT Go subscription. You will have something tangible, probably a t-shirt or a goodie, a ticket to another city, abroad trip. Nobody else to join, right? We are going to the next question.
Please do the honors.
So, in which AI tool Academy Award winner Matthew McConaughey has invested and lent his voice?
Okay, next question. Is that a correct answer? Okay, level last. So is the judge here. BBT, big round of applause to BBT. Who is BBT? Stand up, BBT. Oh,
A big round of applause, everyone.
5 seconds, the fastest finger. Akansha, wait, stand up. Okay, please give a big round of applause. Next, Sanjay. Okay, the top.
So, we have the second question. Which AI tool is used for making presentations? Cursor, Gamma, Winsor, Assembly AI.
Some of them are like, this is nursery question. Okay, let's see. Any guesses who is the fastest finger? The smoke there. Guesses. Please stand up. BBT again.
BBT again.
Are you hacking the system or what? Please stand up.
Do you have the answers already?
No, Sanjay, please stand up. Corners. 12, 19 seconds. You took 19 seconds to answer the gamma? I don't think so. Was it seconds or? BBT. Who is Sanjay? Sanjay sir. Sanjay, please give a big round of applause to him. Let's see at the end who will be on the leaderboard.
Akansha. Who is known as the godfather of AI?
Some of you saying out of syllabus. Sonu of India, Godfather of India. Indian Godfather. Then let's see who is the fastest finger. I am hoping it's not KVD or Sanjay. Please wish your name. Is that the correct answer? Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah. So we have Akansha in the top.
Akansha.
24 seconds.
Tejasri. Who is Tejasri? Tejas, please stand up. Please give a big round of applause to Tejasri. Arya also. Yeah, Arya, please give a big round of applause. Selvan sir is there, 16 microseconds, I suppose. Ikra, please give a big round of applause. Some people are not clapping, they want to go to the next question. We can see that. Okay.
So, which category of AI tool is primarily used for generating human-like text, translating languages, and summarizing long documents? Robotics, NLP tools, export systems, CV systems.
You don't have time to search on Google or AI. Some of them are like, let me do it. I'm flipping that answer. There you go. Is that correct? NLP. Huh? Is that the correct answer? Which one is the max number? Is the Akansha.
We have Akansha again.
No. Tejasri. Arya. Selvan, Sanjay. Again the same names. 4 leaders already. Can anybody
Giving the overall.
Yeah, it's only for this question. Yeah, the overall we look at it here. Are you not part?
Yeah.
Okay.
The leaderboard is showing the overall, not the single. This is 4x4 for all of this. So they are on the top.
Oh, they're on the top. Whoever is answering the max, they are on the top. Yeah, that's right. Whoever, if you, okay.
What is the primary function of convolution neural network, CNN?
Convolutional neural network. कुछ भी डाल दो आगे तो आ गया. Processing and classifying, is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Shravan sir, Dr. Shravan Garu has confirmed, yeah.
There you go. Now, Manikanta, please stand up. We have a new name, Timothy also. Who is Timothy? Okay, there you go. Okay, all neighbors. Please give a round of applause for becoming the winners of this question. Yeah, Selvan, thank you.
Which company developed the AI tool AlphaFold, known for its breakthrough in printing protein structures?
Yeah, they finally is the correct answer. Let's see the winners. New names. There you go. They just changed topic. We have Yuki Sugo. Who is Yuki Sugo? Hey, there you go. Please give a big round of applause to Yuki for the winner of the question. Hey, four, please. Timothy? Yeah, there you go. We are cheering for the fourth or fifth also who is in the race.
Generative adversarial networks are a type of AI tool most often used for.
Is it correct? 66. Okay. Sanjay.
So, here's Sanjay.
We have the new name is Nagendrayan. Who is Nagendrayan? Hey, there you go. Please stand up. Please give a big round of applause. We are trying to hack the algorithm where my name is not being shown but is here on the leaderboard. Now let's see. Okay, Sanjay Nagendra. Akanksha is not answering because she doesn't want to be in the limelight. She's like, stop answering. Where are you? Oh God. Okay.
So, which programming language is considered a classic and foundational language for early AI and less machines, though it's less common today? Though it's less common.
Python. Almost all the students know Python. They only know Python. So answer is Python. The correct answer is Python. Wrong answer. Oh, Lisp is the correct answer. Oh, okay. What is Lisp? I don't know what is Lisp. Lisp? Okay. I don't know about Lisp. They say it's a programming language, so if I don't use AI, somebody will take my job also. So Lisp is something which I should at least learn what it is. Okay, there you go. Any new name? Okay. Probably 9th and 10th we'll have all of you stand up.
What is a chatbot or virtual assistant? An example of in terms of its underlying AI technology.
Perimal is not answering. I'm retired, boss. I don't want to answer this question. Okay, who's there also? Hey, I don't know. Okay, the generative AI tool focuses on conversation and dialogue. Okay. Can you just read Nagendra, Ikra, Yuki, Sanjay? Yeah, please stand up, all of you. All five of you. Now, this is a tough fight. Please stand up, the winners. Yeah, the last question, make or break. Please stand up, all the five of you, because I guess the 10th winner will be from, the leaderboard will be from these. Any guesses who is going to win?
Any guesses, anyone?
Okay, let's see who is going to win the 10th question.
If an AI tool is used to identify fraudulent transactions by finding unusual patterns that deviate from normal activity, it is primarily performing which task?
Anomaly detection. Okay. Nagendra. Nagendra. Yeah, Nagendra. So where is Nagendra? There you go. Wow. Okay. The man is here. Can we also have, like, do we have this for everybody or only the? Yeah, can we have Tejasri also, please? Please give your Oscar speech acceptance, speech of acceptance after AI. We will. Tejas, Ikra. Yeah, please join. Ikra, Anis, Yuki Subo, Sanjay. Yeah, please join us. So, what was the hardest question? Yuki. These are very good questions. Like it really check, professionally checks my understanding and covers everything that I understand.
Actually, I don't know. I'm going AI or nutrition cycle. They start blindly.
I think it's a good lesson on probability. Like we still in the context with this type of thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. So I mean, I especially enjoyed the last phase. So not only it was a good session, but also the last quiz was exactly for me. Yeah. So thanks to everyone.
Actually, it's a good quiz based, not only based on the session, but somewhat related or subject to AI and all. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Venkat for a small token of appreciation for our winners. A big round of applause.
Yeah, you can flash it, as in you can flash it, and uh, yeah, everybody take the group picture and also publish it, and we'll have.
Yeah, we have networking session after this.
Yeah.
Picture and networking.
Yeah, before we go for again networking, we wanted everybody to join us for the group picture, but
Okay, so we'll have networking and photo session after. Okay, first of all, thank you all and congratulations to the winners. So now I'd like to welcome Dr. Saison Jose, a physiotherapist and the CEO and founder of Motion Rehab. Uh, Round of applause, everyone.
Not going to take much time from you people. So like So I'm going to discuss something about physiotherapy and your physical health. I'm not going to make you do exercises, but I'm here to plan to give you some investments where you can invest your knowledge of AI in the future physical health. I hope it will be very useful for you people. So I just welcome Ms. Kareena, one of our team members. She will be explaining about like what are the future investments that your AI knowledge will be invested on.
Hi everyone. Hi. Hi. Sorry, I'm not gonna bore you a lot. I'll quickly wind up my presentation. So, right. So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. And I just have a quick question for you all. How many of you recently updated your phones? Anyone? You can just raise your hands. Perfect. And how many of you recently upgraded or updated your spines? Yeah, spine. Exactly. Welcome to the tech banking era. We don't upgrade our spines for sure. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So we usually blindly agree to the user agreement, and here are certain techie lifestyle realities that we all must be not here, of course. I'm psychologist, but yes, you all techies would have been experiencing. Sitting marathons, 12 hours, right in front of the screen. We have the screen addiction. Of course, we're always glued to the phones. Like I am, I cannot stay without my phone. I'm on the same even with my phone. The Wi-Fi light, this is my favorite. So we're always looking down at a 45-degree angle and causing the cervical stiffness. Cervical is basically C1, C7. Now I'm getting into like technical healthcare terminologies. But yes, we are straining the back of our necks by constantly looking at our phones. And of course, exercise. What usually do we do with exercise? Yes, we exercise or we move our bodies only when the guilt trip takes. That's actually the harsh reality. The next slide. So yeah, if humans have passions, the version 1.0 is basically us having good postures, us having our factory set. The version 2 is, these minor bugs, which is the next stillness, which I am currently experiencing. So maybe I'm in my version 2.0 software. The version 3.0 is a critical system failure. And version 4.0 is basically an emergency patch which is constantly giving you these signals that you need urgent physiotherapy. The next slide. Yeah. So let's just dig deeper into what kind of common tech health bugs are. First, the cervical stiffness that I recently spoke about. Then the carpal tunnel syndrome. It's nothing but, arthritis of our hands. So basically too much of typing. It's like keyboard warriors. So we are like constantly typing on our keyboards. It can give us the carpal syndrome. The dryness of eyes. You sometimes get too dryness in your eyes. Sometimes you might just get this teary eyes. Then of course brain fog. How many of you have experienced brain fog or brain freeze when it just okay after a day of constant working or constant screen time, your brain just stop working at all. You can't do basic tasks as well. Anyone? Okay, yeah. Nobody? Okay. And then mood swings. Of course, every one of us experiences these mood swings. I was crazy. I go nuts if I misplace my charger somewhere, or even if the Wi-Fi is down. So I guess all of us must have experienced this mood swings related to tech. The next slide. Yeah. So funny but a serious truth. That is, we're more intimate with the chair that we're sitting on than with our family members. That is a harsh reality, and we need to accept it and take an action towards it. The next slide. Yep. So yeah, AI can do like marvelous wonders. AI actually helped us do this PPT thing as well because we are healthcare professionals. We don't do a lot of tech stuff and we're very bad at it. So yeah, AI helped me do this PPT here. But what AI couldn't do is come out of the screen, or what ChatGPT couldn't do is come out of the screen and fix my back pain or my cervical pain. because I have to make sure that I take enough action or I make a movement to fix it myself. So that's something which AI didn't do, and that's where we healthcare professionals or humans, the human side, should actually step in. Next slide. Yeah, so we did like some research and we have been researching around how we can try to bridge health and tech together. So the innovation gap in physical health, there's no scalable AI physiotherapy tools. Then the personalized rehab engines, they are missing too. And the smart prevention technology within tech and healthcare, that's something missing too. Because at the moment, there may be certain applications who will be teaching you, or there may be certain softwares who will be telling us about how we can treat a certain injury, but how to prevent it and take the necessary precautions. That's something which is essential, and that's something which is absolutely missing. So prevention technology is something which is missing, and that's what we have. Next. Ideas that can change game. So posture policing. I guess we all have experienced this posture policing since our childhood. Mama डांटती थी. Is everyone okay with Hindi? Everyone understands Hindi? Mama बचपन में डांटती थी. What is the cause of your bad posture? Why is your neck paining? Why are you not able to focus on your studies? What's the facade either? It's the phone. Phone में घुसे रहोगे, you're constantly attached to technology. That's why you're not able to do basic things. So yes, posture policing. It's not someone who's constantly going to, poke you or picker about, fixing your posture. But it's going to be like probably a system alert, or screen alert, wherein you are constantly told that, okay, you need to fix your posture. That's something posture policing. Then let's talk about this pocket physio, wherein pocket physios will be something like, you have physiotherapists in your pocket, not literally, but yeah, you can use your phones, you can use applications, softwares to actually get access to physiotherapy. So let's get on to the next. Yeah. So upgrading your body is more necessary than upgrading your gadgets. So I guess that's again a harsh reality wherein you need to upgrade your cells, your own physical bodies, than upgrading your technology. Let's get on to the next slide. Yeah, AI can run the world. It let me make a PPT, but yeah, the next. Sorry, I guess. Yeah. So AI can help me with making the PPT. What AI can do is fix my posture. So it's what's really essential for us is to make the movement. I guess all of you are just sitting here. Everyone's pretty much bored. What we can do is make a slight movement in our bodies. Maybe just do a slight rotation with me. Everyone, the opposite side. And if you can just stand up, shake your body a little bit, do a nice wiggle, and be happy about this movement because yes, after hours of sitting, you made a slight movement in your body and helped towards helping yourself towards this, whole future of you, which is saving yourself from any kind of cervical stiffness or any kind of bad posturing. And yes, so the idea behind this whole presentation was basically we at Motion Plus and we all get it done. Sorry. We at Motion Plus International, we are expecting brilliant minds to join us in this vision, which is trying to bridge the gap between tech and health. And now I'm going to hand over the mic to Joes, Dr. Joes. He's been just answering questions, queries that you guys have. Thanks so much for being so patient with me.
Yeah, everyone, please. One more thing I wanted to discuss with the upcoming developers. So these are the gaps we are planning to develop. These are the gaps we are trying to fill in the physical world. So one of the staff, I think Professor, he asked a question, right? So the students are doing the assignments in the AI. So I want to tell him, don't give the assignment or whatever thing to write a code. Give the assessment or assignment, develop the app, which is the next step. So even myself, I developed the app using the Google Canvas or anything. So the things are getting updated. So even the education system also we have to do the same thing over there. So one more hard thing, I think the conception or like perspective through the AI is very different in the India compared to the Western countries. As you see, like it was the greatest summit happened in Saudi Arabia, and along with was a main idea of bringing AI and robotics is to replace human beings. The thing is to create an economic democracy. How many of you people you know? So that's the thing. We don't know where we are traveling, but we are traveling. So that's the thing. Their main aim, Elon Musk is thinking by 2025, he will create a world called economic democracy, which is then country can print the money and give you, you can do whatever you want. But there will be human beings will be replaced by AI and these things. And then again, it will be happening like one of the famous movie they will tell then Society. Okay, there is engineering, science, physics, and everything is there. Beyond that, humans will be only enjoying poems, songs, music. Every other thing will be replaced by AI and robots. So you people, young people, you have to be very strong, be innovative, don't do the same thing back and back and again. Bring up with some new ideas. That's my only time.
Thank you. So, so as we come to the end of the event, I'd like to give a vote of thanks. So I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our speakers who were here for some great sessions, for giving us guidance through AI, which is our main thing here, right? So guiding us through all the topics and many questions which we had. So thank you everyone. I'd like to thank our volunteers, our organizers, to so that the event runs very smoothly. This event was a success. As I see, do you all agree? Was this a success? Yes. Was this a success? Yes. Yes. So I'd like to also thank majorly your audience to show your enthusiasm for the event that made this event to be live. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Now you all can do networking session, photo session and everything.
Either will not get anything.
So before that, I'd like to call our panel members and all the speakers
Sonu.
for token of appreciation from our side. So, so please.
One hour.
One of
Could we have everybody clap? Continue clapping.
big round, a big round of applause, everyone. We should continue.
Yes, sir. Center. కరెక్ట్ తీసుకో నాలుగైదు తీసుకో వైడ్ గుడిది క్లోజ్ వైడ్ ది వర్టికల్ గుడిది మూడు క్లోజ్ అప్ వైడ్ వర్టికల్ కొడుతూనే ఉంది మేక్ దెమ్ రైట్ స్మైల్ సెంటర్ లో క్లాప్ కంటిన్యూ క్లాపింగ్ నెక్స్ట్ ఏ ఫ్రేమ్ ఎక్కడ ఉందిరా ఇందులో చూడట్లే బ్యాటరీ బాంబ్స్ అంతేనా కాదు అది పర్లేదులే చూడు అంటే పర్లేదు ముందాలది హైలైట్ చేద్దాం దట్స్ ఓకే బ్యాటరీ డౌన్ అయిందా? వెయిట్ ఓ వీడియో మోడ్ లో ఉందా? ఎయిట్ బ్యాటరీ పోతుందా? ఒక బ్యాటరీ లేదు. ఒక బ్యాటరీ లేదు. ఒకే బ్యాటరీ. Anwar ji, yeah, please give a big round of applause to Anwar sir. Let's have a group picture with the entire panel again. Once again, also everybody, please join us for a group picture. లేరు అక్కడ వాళ్ళు ఇస్తే ఓకే ఫోటో ఇది చూస్తే నువ్వు ముందే వస్తే అయిపోయేది ఫొటోస్ తీయడానికి. ఇంకెవరు ఉన్నారు? మంచి ఫోటో తీసాను. స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి తీస్తే అయిపోయేది. ఇదే పంపించాను. ఒక మోడల్ తీసేసి
So let's all take a group picture now.
Yes.
Hey, the panel, please watch it.
Take with everyone.
Yeah.
One selfie, first with everyone.
Everybody, please stand up. Yeah, 5 seconds. Please get on the stage, okay? Everybody come here. 5, 4. Out the gates. Video undani, rolling undani. Yeah, Mahima.
So what day is it? What time is it?
That's not enough. The roof should blow up, okay? Again, yeah.
What day is it? What time is it? What day is it? What time is it again?
Flash your guys, come, all of you come.
Just show thumbs up everyone like this.
Come, one photo please.
Just show thumbs up.
Others can join. We have the Draper boy, he can take. The other one. Bhaiya.
Chandu, come.
Yeah, the video is rolling. Okay, this is. He's clicking. Okay, ABCD. Thank you so much. Flash thumbs for victory, and it's the last 5 seconds. Thank you. Please start networking. Connect with everybody on LinkedIn. Follow each other on Instagram. Do live with Dollar Kakar.
Thank you.
And you can block me on Instagram or LinkedIn. Thank you all for making a huge success.
Yeah, good. Okay.